Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome. Special Saturday edition of Steve Builds. Welcome, Bill and Bob. How are you folks doing? Can we hear you, Bob?
Yeah, good morning.
Awesome. Can everybody hear Bob?
Tasting 1, 2, 3.
Yep. Derek, thank you for being a member for 37 months and the gifted memberships a bit ago. Thanks to Rod for the gifted memberships. Steve Builds becomes Steve Subtracts. Yep.
No, we're building, and then the machine will subtract.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Greenbeard. Hey, Maker Viking. Hey, Tuxedo and Kittrell. Hey, Scott and Lord Gitface. Everybody's saying they're hearing just fine. That's awesome. Hey, Maker Viking. Hey, Lucas and Rick. So today we are unboxing this thing. Now, this has been sitting in my garage for almost 2 weeks now, maybe a little over 2 weeks, because I needed to not get distracted, and I had a deadline for finishing the wiring in my shed. Wiring's not finished in my shed, but it passed the next stage of inspection, which means that my deadline gets extended 6 months. So, and fortunately, they had no comments. Everything was good to go. So, rough-in inspection passed. So, final inspection is next. We are doing, since this is a public stream, every public stream I give away a roll of Polymaker filament. The link is in the pinned post and the description. If you're in the description, there is a new affiliate link there. I joined the Vision Miner Nano Polymer Adhesive affiliate program. So if anybody's interested in that, I use it. The only reason I joined it is because I like it. So if you are looking for some of that, there is a 10% off code in there. So
It works really well. They've even got the nano bottles for people to try without.
Yeah, you can get little samples for relatively inexpensive, and then the different size bottles, 50 milliliters or 120 milliliters. So, Andrew, thanks for being a member. The machines that giveth and taketh away. Yes. The other thing I want to mention early on, and I'll try to remind folks near the end of the stream, in the description is a couple of extra links that I put there just so I wouldn't have to keep posting them into chat. There is a special announcement from on the Doom Cube server on a project that is talked about in Nero's video or Canuck Creator's video that I linked there as well. They're doing that announcement in full release at 2 p.m. today, which is just under 4 hours from now. I expect to be done just before that point, so then Bill owes me a beer, or a tasty beverage. Bill says we should be done setting this up within 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to take a little longer than that.
I think him and Bob have conspired to drag their feet.
Well, Chad will take care of that for us.
So I am kind of not going through as many greetings this morning, trying to get all this stuff on my mind that I wanted to mention out of the way. A headphone warning for this entire stream. We are going to be dealing with metal and metal hitting metal. So there will be extra noises.
And they're heavy things. Sometimes you can't just carry it. You got to drag it a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Might have to move some things around. I've already shifted Phoenix out of the way. I've shifted everything out of the way that I can so we have enough room to safely do this. And in terms of safety, because I think it's a little funny, I am wearing my not as comfortable shoes and my special socks because we are lifting heavy things. And there's a sticker.
Shed building socks.
My normal comfortable shoes provide no protection if my foot finds its way underneath something heavy. So, but that was really an excuse to show Neil the socks. I got them from Neil and his wife.
Yeah.
Let's see. Andrew Rogers for the 3D unprinting unboxing fun. Unprinter unboxing. Thank you. Let's see. Is it 110 or 220 on the power requirement? It is 110. They do recommend or require a 20 amp outlet all of my outlets in this garage since I had the sub panel put in are 20 amp outlets. So you already fell through the ceiling. No more injuries for you. Put the comfy shoes on.
No holes in the ceiling.
They don't. So I don't have shoes with steel toes. This is the best. I do the best with what I have. Hey, Traxman. Hey, Maker Viking.
Which
hey, Martin.
steel toes are kind of a mixed bag anyway. If you get
Yes.
something that's heavy enough to do damage,
Yep.
they can squish, and if they
Yep.
do, they stay, and that can be worse.
Yep. So the idea here is that I have Bill on site. Bill has this same mill. That's the trigger point for me pulling the trigger on purchasing one. But I have been looking at this for a very long time.
He still says it's my fault.
I mean, yeah, I ordered it when we came back from your place making Cascade parts.
Yeah.
I've been watching Blondie Hacks and Artisan Makes and Clow 42 and Inheritance Machining. That's kind of my relaxed YouTube time, is watching those kinds of things. It's really cool having gone over to Bill's house and using his machine and having some idea just from those videos on what to do. And so here we are.
It's about time somebody else encouraged you to buy some tools.
Yes. If anybody else happens to be looking for one of these, be sure that you check out Cloud 42's videos on his CNC conversion. They do make parts to convert this exact machine to CNC capabilities. But the important part there is if anybody was looking for one of these, Cloud 42 has a 5% discount code in his video.
And Derek already asked if you were going to do that conversion.
I am not. So my purpose, my intent for this machine is very specifically to keep it manual. I have CNC machines now. I have the Milo. I have the Cascade. I think that this works very well into that workflow, though, because there is probably no quicker and easier way to square up stock than on this manual mill. And square stock is much easier to fixture in the CNC machines. And then there are other processes that are far more suited to the manual machine. If I'm building a printer from scratch from raw extrusions, squaring up and locating cross holes in extrusions is a far quicker process, I think, on this machine than it would be on a CNC, especially once you get into longer pieces of extrusion where they don't necessarily fit within say the Cascade here, for instance. So
Seems like Derek's a big fan of the milling and CNC projects as well. He's got a lot of insights in this stuff. He says your first project, or the benchy of subtractive manufacturing, is a machinist hammer. You got to make one of those first.
oh yeah, I've seen all kinds of projects with that.
Yeah.
Let's see, who else do we have? We have Blam and Reth. How are you doing? Hey, Brent, Holt, and Mr. Tiburon and Icon. Maurice, thank you for being a member for nearly 33 years. Thank you.
Years.
Well, sometimes the mouth works before the brain is caught up. Okay, so we are going to get into this. So we give Bill some chance of me being the tasty beverage provider. So let's start with what we're doing. So this is the machine. Does Bill get gummy bears during the unboxing and buy any extra gummy bears? It does get complex when you need to do curved surfaces. Absolutely. Rotary tables are fun machines though too. So 33 years. I subscribed at the age of 8 apparently. This is the machine. I added a bunch of options to it. I did choose the DRO option and the stand and the auto feed. Those are the important things for the machine. It is a bench style mill, so it weighs about 370 pounds. I chose Precision Matthews to purchase this from based on their reputation and watching. This is the exact same machine that Blondie Hacks is using right now, so I have a very good idea of the ability, the capability she's been able to get out of it, and that fits with what I'm looking to do. So if you keep scrolling down, there are a bunch of feature lists and then some links to manuals and documents. So we're going to vaguely go by the steps for assembling the stand and the machine and stuff, but I'm not going to be bouncing back and forth with these documents showing every little step of the way. It's going to be Bill and I kind of working through this, and it's more of a you're heading over to your friend's house and hanging out while they build something rather than a full tutorial here. So,
And on that website, there was also all the specs that all of our
oh yeah,
friends like to see and
yep.
ask the questions about.
And the other thing on Cloud's current project is to take that machine to a fairly high level CNC.
Mm-hmm.
So he's right now, building a servo based, kind of a super duper machine that's going to have a lot of money in it. But the kit that they offer gives you some of the automation pieces and the ball screws if you choose to go that route.
Yeah, it's about $1,200, and I think you get the ball screws and the stepper servo mounts. That's about it, right?
There's a board that you can talk to, but anyway,
Yeah.
just so you know that it's more than just a simple,
Yeah.
put some Nemas on it and ready to rock and roll. He's gone full boat enclosure the way he always does things. So if you follow Cloud, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
I think you're still probably looking at a minimum of a couple of grand to make the CNC capable. Right?
It's more.
Well, at the minimum, if you're really going into servos and proper controllers and stuff, he's probably looking at.
He's already dropped $7,000 on
Yeah.
his. So
yeah, exactly.
You've been called out, Steve.
You don't put NEMA 17s on a machine like this. You put NEMA 34s minimum. Tuxedo, I wanted to answer your question. For right now, it is going to live right next to my drill press there. I've been able to clear out enough space in here that I can still move around with that sitting there. The potential for putting it in the shed is there though. I had thought about turning that into my little metal lathe and that over in the shed. So we'll see. Hey Jake, I am cheating on Milo a couple of times, but oh hey Dom, I saw you earlier. I forgot to shout out. Hey Rick and another CG. Anybody testing MillMage for their CNCs? It's still in beta. Bill here is testing it, and we got a nice talk on it in at Rocky Mountain Rip Rap Festival from Joe Spanier. It is something that I want to check out, but I'm not at a point where I've been able to check it out and actually do anything with it. But okay, so let's get into it. I think what we're going, so this will be interesting. This will be new. We are going to try this is going to be our basic view of unboxing this, and we're just going to go for it.
Rock and roll.
Bob is going to call out if there are any questions. Otherwise, just to be clear, I won't be able to pay as much attention as usual. But if you do have a question, Bob will make sure we get that going.
I'll do my best.
All right.
Where did I put my...
Did we have a box knife?
Yep. Yep. I got my Jerry Rigs Everything box knife here. Just going to get these...
Yes, Brent. Bill wore the blue shirt just so he would be recognized from chat.
I almost wore my machinists have tolerance issues shirt, so I didn't.
Yeah, now try to remember there is going to be lots of headphone warnings.
Not so bad so far. There is an important question though.
What's that?
Will this be blaster dart proof?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They'll reflect right off of it.
Since it's living in the target range.
Okay, we have a few things here. This is a box of all the extra stuff I bought. And then
Both
this,
boxes are heavy.
oh geez. Okay, so I really would rather have some gloves here. I should have put my surface plate somewhere else, but I think we can sneak that box here. What do you think?
Yeah.
Get this over on that side.
Yep.
We'll switch over to the other camera while we unbox and get the pieces out of this, I think. Void Phoenix, thanks for being a member for 21 months. Haven't caught a live in a long time. Welcome. Now, for again, for everyone, there is a regular stream tomorrow. This is extra. So we'll be back on the Core 1 conversion tomorrow.
This one didn't fit in any of the normal project timelines, but it was a toy that absolutely needed some attention. So,
Oh, yes.
You need pliers for those.
Go. It's blue. Yeah.
This side.
Set this over here, I think.
Okay.
those look like they're thick metal.
They are.
Yeah, they are. They're probably at least 14 gauge, maybe 12 gauge.
Yeah.
Feet. Hey, Luke, welcome. Yeah, we are going to be taking our time. That's for sure. This is going to be lots of turning screws and figuring things out too. And figuring out where packaging debris can go. It's not going to be in the way
Stack
of
back there.
thing. Hey, one solid cube. Darts at Maker Faire, Orange County. They're talking about doing death racers. Nice. Instructions. Use those instead of paying attention to the screen. Hey, Joe V.
Machines come with paper instructions.
Oh,
Nonsense.
Just in case you don't own a computer. It's got a bunch of books in it.
yep. Set this corner and set each thing. So we got the different plates. Then open 10 seconds, clear the cats aren't in the garage. Yeah, that's another thing is we are going to be moving around here with heavy things. I did not want to worry about the cats. So Oscar will not come within 50 feet of the garage at the moment anyway, because stranger danger. And Felix, I would not trust to just sit in the bed and stay there.
Not when there's boxes. I
I
mean,
think what we should do is try to get all these materials back in here. So
Okay.
we have one box to deal with.
so there's a Steve in chat that says that Kurt's out of town until Sunday. You can utilize his recycling can.
Oh, awesome. That is until Sunday. Well, he might need it next week, but that is a good thing to know. So the Steve in chat is a local. Scott, thanks for the super chat. This is a nice blue. This is a really nice blue.
Another CG. I think a Sawzall's a bit much for breaking down cardboard.
Next box is heavy too.
Big box for Big Kitty. Do we want to
can
get this
assemble-
assembled and
We
then
can
pull that
assemble
out?
the stand and then get this one down too.
I think that's a good idea. Start netted area at OC. I will bring blasters if we're going to have a place to fire them. There's no real order here. We do have hardware. So let's figure out what we have for hardware.
This is one of those things where you have to have a hand that does this.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Are we going to be able to reasonably assemble it maybe up here and then move it to the floor?
Since there's two of us, yeah, I think so.
You brought some feet. What did you
I
use?
just,
It'd certainly be
Lots
better
of
on your
feet.
backs to do it up there.
Yeah, that's agreed.
we were concerned about the adjustability for Steve's floor, and so I spent. I'm gonna wave it at the camera here.
Yeah.
I spent a couple moments milling out some spacers that we could use in different configurations if necessary.
Okay. I think we can use the bench, the main bench over
Let's
here.
set these over here just in case you need those.
Husky workbenches. This is a great purchase for me because I realize we can bring this down and keep the
Oh, nice.
yeah, and it has drawers and it's the 42-inch or whatever version, so it's not too bad to roll around and get out of the way. So go ahead and move this down a little bit, keep stuff in. Roll, pushes out of the way. Core one leftover part.
Okay.
Okay, so we have this piece
One of those
first.
pieces of cardboard.
And this will definitely be a two-hand lift when we pull this back down.
So I'm going to use this
And I
cutting
think
block.
lots of cardboard dust all over. I know this thing is going to get ridiculously messy over time as it gets used, but
Might as well start clean.
yeah, start clean.
How well can you guys see? Was that
I think it's a pretty good view.
Good. Yeah. And then we've got a bottom. So is this the big part 212? 212 is, we have two, so is there two 212s? 212 is stand brace. And then, oh yeah,
One-
yep, 212 and 212. These are the same piece.
Yeah,
There's
that's
two of these.
the bottom then.
So then this guy.
Got to figure out how to close your knife. How do you close your knife, Steve?
I think it's push.
Sure.
Yep,
Okay.
there you go.
Okay.
Okay, so this guy goes here.
Yep.
We've got a bunch
They're open.
of.
It should be open.
Oh, it wasn't.
I missed one.
Now see, the seam is down there.
I opened the non-seam.
See, they're all melt sealed.
The growing consensus is that I've been punished, taken out of chat, and put in the corner.
Football. Oh yes, yes. There. It feels. I can't pinpoint the reference, but having someone in the corner there like that seems like there's a reference there. besides timeout. And
This is the bolt machine to the fan, so I'm going to set these aside.
perfect.
I
Yeah.
got that one open.
Yeah. Let's get rid of this stuff. Hey Phil. Welcome. Hey Rob. Baby face, that's accurate. So then I suppose just these guys going in from here, huh? Oh, and it can't have to sit up there, and a washer. What do we have in terms of washers? And what is the size here? Probably an imperial size, right?
No.
Which I
Well,
do.
it's one of the challenges is there's a mix of imperial and metric screws in this.
Looks like 12 is going to be fine for these.
Klaus sent a note out to the Patreons that says, hey, if you're going to do this, just be aware.
You'll need to unbury your Imperial
Hold.
tools.
Well, all of these have a little square there.
Oh, yeah.
So I
But
don't think. Oh yeah, you're right. I got it. I got what you were doing.
I'll
Perfect.
give you hands.
Teamwork.
Brent says I'm the warden overseeing the asylum.
Mm-hmm.
Truer words have never been said.
Oh, that one's either miscut or for a different purpose. You see the size? There's two of them like that.
Yep.
Oh, there's few. So
Yeah.
they're for something else.
Right.
Oh, there are some smaller
Mm-hmm.
screws here. Okay.
Knappen would like to point out that that's putting the biggest nut in charge of the asylum.
Okay. Now we need the other side.
We got here. We got almost 150 people here already on a Saturday. Oh, I see what they're doing. So we're turning it on its side.
Mhm.
That's what you just said, isn't it?
Well, but we can go ahead and
I need a hex tray. I don't have a hex tray.
You can do a hex tray.
Let's see if I have a
Well-
spare one somewhere.
Hex trays are for printers, so you need one of those magnetic dishes.
Oh, you know what? Harbor Freight I got this for free just yesterday.
There you go.
Yep. See, there you go.
I need like 3 of them though to actually organize the space, but whatever.
I have seen larger versions that had segments.
Yeah. I was pleasantly surprised when I got home last night because I did a last minute Harbor Freight run yesterday. I was pleasantly surprised at how strong the magnet on this is. It actually holds in place really well.
The one thing that you got to look out for, and I just saw it happen, is some of your hardware will teleport to underneath.
Oh, yes.
I have about 4 of the big ones. So. Or you set it down on your workbench and everything on your workbench migrates over to it.
That can be a good thing too,
I'm gonna
especially
put
now
this
that
on
you're
the other
working with
side.
metal, because it can help clean up some of the shavings.
I got a mill a hex tray. That is a CNC mill project there. So let's get this. That other one.
Pex Peppers joined the chat.
Hey Garrett, welcome. Hey Panzerkaden.
Hey Garrett, my wife thought I went crazy when I bought a case of classic Pueblo Red. I'm going through it pretty fast.
Pueblo Red is where it's at.
Yeah.
If you're any kind, I mean, I know you're not, but I am. If you're any kind of spice wimp and you want to try the Pex Pepper stuff, Pueblo Red. Hey, Kenrock, welcome. Not working, got a push notification. Hi, Daniel, welcome. Someone gifted you a membership, that's awesome. You don't, with YouTube, you no longer have to be there to receive one. I'm pretty sure you have to be subscribed though to receive one.
Yeah, I
So if
think
you're
so.
not subscribed, there's one of my rare call outs to subscribe.
All Pex Peppers has got a Steve Build discount code today for 30% off.
30%, holy moly. Thank you, Garrett. Oh, am I going the wrong way?
Yes. I wasn't watching YouTube, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. It was a whole lot easier to do it the way I did it. I didn't have to hold anything.
That should have been the first clue that it was wrong.
This is true. We got one in the corner here. If you want to finish that one up. I do feel pretty good about this stand with how thick the metal is. We'll see how well it tightens up.
No, I mean, you've run my mill on it, so.
You're right.
It's a pretty stiff sand. It is also pretty heavy once you get it together.
Yeah, I think a hex tray. I had started doing a hex tray on the Shapeoko here, so I probably need to. That'll be fun to see how many different ways I can make one.
Okay.
What do we got there? So all of those, I imagine we don't want to tighten them down until everything's together.
I generally, if I'm going to assemble something that's all tied together,
Yeah.
I wait to tighten it.
Yeah. Yep. I think this guy goes on next.
Do you want to turn it the other direction so we're not working upside down?
Well, can we easily?
Yeah. Here, let's set this down.
Turn it on its side?
Yeah. Straight this way.
We seem to have quite a few Scandinavians in chat. They're starting a Viking raid.
What century is this? Trying to be extra careful not to scratch. I'll hold this in place if you want to get at least one of those top ones started.
Yep.
Trying to be extra careful not to scratch the snot out of my workbench top here. But this is nicely powder coated, so there's no sharp edges as long as we stay away from the feet here.
Do the top here. I'm gonna have to wiggle it a little bit.
Yep.
Good luck finding a hole. Start to there we go.
There we go.
Upside down and backwards.
Yep. Would it be better from this side?
I was just gonna let you put it on, but I'll just put it on. All
There
right.
we go. Cool.
It's got some
Got
pull.
some pull. There we go.
Have you seen the channel Not an Engineer?
Yes.
Not an engineer. I just discovered. Mike at E3D told me about him. I had actually, they'd come up in my suggestions prior to that, but I didn't recognize the name. Absolutely hilarious.
Apparently they're doing a CNC build that Greenbird was asking if people were following along with.
I am. That guy, there's some channels that just, Zach Freeman's another one. Just the wordplay, I mean, all of that is very well prepped, but I enjoy that type of humor.
So I think we're ready to tighten as soon as you put those in.
I am going to save that channel for later.
Okay, this is here, so I can actually
Reach.
barely, but I can.
I can play Yuri mode. This one down at the bottom. At least I'll hold the.
What do we got? Oh, yeah. Actually, I think it might be a better angle for me to hold it and you put the screws on.
Okay.
A little longer reach.
Yeah. Rule number 1: never face the other direction for the camera. But hey,
Whatever.
Who said there was rules?
There's no rules.
there's rules.
We make up the rules as we go along.
Quote somebody famous: "You broke the rules." No, you broke the rules. See, I can't get it back in there.
Yeah.
It's-
Can you get to this side though?
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah.
Yep.
No rules, more like guidelines.
I don't have the right flusher. Get a little one.
Okay.
You cannot put that size screw through a smaller washer.
I need one more. Oh, that must be it right there. Magnet on that is strong.
It is.
And then we got one more right here.
I can tell you having an extra hand for this part makes it way easier.
Is this backwards from yours?
No,
No?
correct. That was what I was trying to tell you, is that the welded nut is on the bottom of the
Yeah, but I
foot.
thought the flange went down.
No.
Oh, okay.
So they've built that so that you can actually take it all the way to the floor. I think, I don't understand why they have the flanges up. They're exactly an inch above the bottom of the cabinet.
I see.
Okay, and
I see.
that's why I built my original foot thing,
Yep.
because then that allowed you to space that out. It made it stronger. But we didn't. And we need
I gotta figure out how does this get, or is it even important? Squaring it up. Should we put the feet in, put it on its feet, and then tighten it up?
Having it on the table is good enough.
I think so, because it's kind of forcing everything.
And
Yeah, I think we're.
you know what? I did not bring into.
Huh?
I have to go out to the car once we get to the right place.
Okay.
I brought my precision level with me.
Oh, yeah.
I hope I brought my precision level with me.
Oh, we're missing a fastener up in the bottom there. Which means one.
You missing?
Coffee Squirrel, the
There's
community
that one.
leaderboard thing is a recent YouTube addition that they threw at Steve because he allows them to test things.
I am missing one nut. I am missing a nut. Did anything fall? Anything end up anywhere
Here.
else? We're missing a nut for this, right? I didn't ever hear anything fall.
No, I didn't either.
Are we just simply missing? Oh, what do we have here?
That's all to bolt everything on the machine onto the stand.
Oh, I just wanted to count. We only have 3 of that nut over here. We should have 4, right?
There should be 4 of that.
Oh, let's see. Oop,
Now
there's
they're on the floor.
Yeah.
There's one.
Oh, there it is. It was hidden around the corner. I just wanted to make sure there wasn't 5, because that's the same size nut we need here. So we are short a nut.
Well, there's 155 of them in chat.
And 2 in the room.
What do we see?
There's some chat about eating hot peppers, and Down Under Maker is back.
Okay, we are missing a nut. Let's grab one of those since it's the same one, right?
Yeah.
Because I have a miscellaneous selection of nuts that could have it. Need it. So we can at least get this part done. Wow, this is a...
It's
A
definite.
Oh,
You mean to hold it?
there it is.
Did it slip underneath the tray on the bottom of the magnet?
Oh, that's a good point. Yes, it did. Good job.
They're
That
not
was
the same.
Vapors Club.
They're not the same.
They're not the same?
Nope. This is the one you need.
Yep. That's why that one wasn't threading on.
This is Imperial. That's metric.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine.
So the stand is metric and the mill is imperial?
It's Imperial metric. Yeah. That would be right. So it's manufactured in Taiwan, so there's quite a few metricisms in it, but it's set with the lead screws and the measurements and all that stuff for Imperial. Which is the same thing that happens on their lathes. So it's like, kind of have to be well versed in both. Although I will tell you something interesting that I found. In these feet that go in the bottom, this is a 1/2-inch bolt, but it doesn't use any standard threading for the U.S. So
That's frustrating.
This is a 1/2 inch by 12 TPI.
Well,
Or is it 11? I've forgotten. But at any rate, it's very non-standard.
how much of this clanging around is coming across?
A little bit.
Well, you are going to get a different feed than that because different noise. OVS has its own noise filter that isn't going to you.
Yeah, I did not turn on the noise filter for Bob. I didn't figure Bob was going to be noisy.
It's not bad at all. Okay, thanks, Rod.
Okay.
Almost done.
It's a big metal assembly. It's going to make noise.
Oh yes.
And it's got a ring to it.
Okay, that is all tight. Tight.
So I would put the feet on it now, personally. I'm not sure what the instructions say, but that allows you to set it down and put the shelf on the inside.
Yeah. We've got a few more things to bolt in, but let's put the feet on. So what do we got?
You wanna use these spacers or no?
What are the spacers going to help us with at this point? They're really helpful for the other feet so did I bring one of these out? The intent eventually is to be able to roll this around a little bit. So I got the big beefy feet here, but it takes some adapters to make that work.
Fill it with sand and the ring will go away. I
Fill
don't
the
think it
whole
needs to
base
be
with
any.
sand.
I don't think it needs to be any heavier. It's almost one full napkin.
So
What do we gain from those right now?
I'm thinking what it does is it pulls it up so that it's not sitting on this when you tighten it up.
But don't you normally put a screw on both sides?
You can do that.
Oh, you do this and then you lock it down there, right?
Yeah.
I don't think these do anything with this setup. Right?
Yeah, this is just to turn the bolt with.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, I mean, you don't have to do it this way. It's just I think it would make it sturdier, personally.
To just put it all the way down. But I need to adjust it anyway. It's
You
going to
will.
need to go like
You will.
12 millimeters off.
And my opportunity to give you the adapters is probably delayed a little.
That's okay. That's okay. That's not a problem. Let's just go ahead and
Let me
throw
put-
these
put the nuts
guys on here.
Nuts on the bottom. You need a nut on the bottom.
A nut on the bottom.
Yeah, because you're gonna adjust it.
Don't you
this
lock
way.
it here?
You can lock it there. That's a different. You can do it that way too.
That's what I'll do.
Okay. This is one of those things where I wanted more strength in this bolt because it's 1/2 inch, right? You got the whole weight of the machine and the whole vibration. Of the
I agree.
machine
I agree.
on
Let's do
one
that.
bolt.
Let's do that.
That was why I was
Yep.
doing it that way.
I agree. And I see what you're saying. So let's put the nut on the bottom. You have effectively twice the number of threads holding the weight.
Yeah.
I can't wait so I've started making my own based on pictures and my designs. Awesome, Edward. Let us know how that goes. Favor. Not. Are there any lock? Oh, so did I put a lock washer on that?
These are the ones that I just brought on my
Oh,
own.
you brought those. Okay.
I brought these in case you wanted them.
For this setup, I don't think we need them.
So I'm just doing this by eyeball of the.
Same.
Okay.
Same. Oh, and then shift this whole thing over a bit. Are you doing to where the nut is on the bottom, flush with the bottom or so?
I was just looking down
Yeah.
the back side of the.
About like that. It looks like that'll be close.
Yeah. The floral
Some
will
chat
not be
about-
as close.
Some chat about telescopes and putting sand in the base to mute vibrations when you're dealing with.
Oh yeah. That would be hugely impactful when you're looking so far away.
Mm-hmm.
Just finger tighten that for the moment.
Okay, I think we can set this up on its feet.
Do you want to do it on the floor or on the table?
Let's go ahead and do it on the table, but we can set some towels under those feet so we can shift it around without causing too much damage. Set it in place and then put the towels in.
Okay, I got this. Just
Oh, no, well, I don't know where they necessarily need to go.
well, here, just
You okay?
yeah.
Let's do that. Do. Then you can set that. Put your fingers. There we go. Dirty towel. Apparently. There we go.
And slide back just a little.
There we go. Woohoo.
Progress.
Okay, now we get to put the
this
back.
is the front because it has the tab on it for the door.
Now this is interesting. Where does this go?
Is that the shelf?
Oh, there is a shelf, huh?
There is a shelf, yes.
Okay, that's the shelf. Oh, there it is. Never mind.
It goes right in here.
Should we put it in? Does it matter if we put it in now?
It's kind of hard to get it in. Then I think there's some screws for it, but we don't have to put those in quite yet.
And then how does this go in? Are there tabs back here? There are.
Pre-tapped holes with some. These are where the small screws go.
But are
Way
you going
to-
to face the vents in or out?
In. I think. Does that make sense?
I spaced mine out with pointed down,
Out point. Oh yeah, you're right. That's how.
thinking that less chips end up inside the box.
Yep. Nope. Fence out.
Let's see if I can get my fat pickle fingers to put that in there.
What size driver are those? Get one more on here and then I'll go
maybe?
check.
3 millimeter maybe.
Okay.
It started.
Started. There we are. Do. 4.
4. Need to recalibrate
There
my eyes.
Micrometer needs some adjustment.
Yep.
We have at least one person in the Voron team that's really into 3D printed and other telescopes, and they've produced some fantastic imagery.
3D printed telescopes is really interesting.
Well, and I don't understand it enough to explain it, but the methods they use with stacking multiple images to get that final image is really, really cool. Do
So-
these
So what you want to do is look at the instructions for the door. It's not too complex, but
Oh, okay. So those other screws bolt the shelf in place, it looks like.
yes,
That's what
those
these are
work.
for?
Mhm.
And does that mean that we have the shelf upside down then? I
Well,
think
I
you
don't
have a
know. I know
choice on
I
which-
know I know which way I put them.
Do you want a lip or not is what I'm...
Yeah, I didn't want a lip in mine.
Well, you can do it without a lip by hanging the shelf.
So it's
That would work.
it's totally up to you how you would like to do your shelf.
Yeah.
Dealer's choice.
The lip would bother me as well until I consider tools rolling off of it.
Well, ideally, I'm putting packages in here, not individual tools. So, like the box of parallels.
Or
Do
printing
you wanna come
trays
around
for
this side,
things.
Bill?
Pardon
Can you come around this side and
Sure.
hold the shelf up?
me? All right.
So then I can get a couple of these going.
Sorry, you guys can't see very well, but here's the animation.
Okay. This even the nut for this? Yes. Where'd the washer go? Couldn't get the
Chat has left us anyway. They're onto telescopes.
onto telescopes. That's fine. There we go. Where did all the rest of the... Oh, you used all the washers. Maybe we don't use washers here? Does the back need washers?
I put one in line.
Yeah. I don't have enough washers to do for these. But it seems like there would be more washers than necessary. So maybe
Okay.
maybe these don't use them.
Let us check.
I can change this later. It doesn't.
The back doesn't need washers.
Back doesn't need washers.
I'll give you a washer.
It's a lot prettier without washers.
Yeah.
The black hardware.
I will hand you a washer or two. You know. Actually, didn't bolt my shelf down.
Huh?
I didn't bolt my shelf down.
Oh, it's just laying there?
It's just laying there.
Yeah.
By the time
Oh.
you stack,
There's another. So I think this is actually intended to have a washer on top and a washer on bottom.
by the time you lay a bunch of parallels and
It's not moving.
collets and stuff on top of it, it's pretty well held down.
What size wrench I need for this? Is this a 10? It is.
Surprise, surprise.
Which 10?
Surprised that the 10 hasn't ran away.
Well, that's sockets. Wrenches aren't as adventurous.
Hey, Bob, have you seen those guys that sell packages of 10mm sockets?
Yes, I
Pretty
have.
fun. Two shorts,
You know those-
two longs.
Those toys that have the legs to make the toy walk across.
Yeah.
Friend of ours in chat, DSK, modeled on printables a 10mm socket that you stick one of those motions into, wind it up, and it walks
Oh,
away.
yeah. Yeah. Okay, washer. Two more washers. Okay. We have more washers.
Fire in my hand.
There we go. I think, do I need any more?
Nope.
Yeah, I should have one more. Where's the one more? Maybe, oh, no. I got it. I got them all.
Okay.
Well, another CG says his stuff at work always grows legs, and work tools and
Mhm.
home tools are very different. Work tools, it doesn't matter what it is, it runs away.
No, it just camouflages itself. You lay it on your workbench, and then 5 minutes later, you can't figure out where you laid it on your workbench.
And then you
I
find
find
out
that
you
it's
didn't lay it on your workbench.
Yeah.
Okay.
we run
one
into the
more.
constant circle of who borrowed what tool.
Mm-hmm.
There it is. Okay.
Okay, I think we're probably about ready to set it on the ground.
Right. These.
We'll have to do the door. The door.
The door is the handle on, and its ring loads into place.
Where's door handle hardware?
Hmm?
You got a socket door handle
here.
hardware? And
Okay, that's done.
Okay.
The cat got it. That is, the cat knocked it off the bench is the answer there.
Well, Thomas asked if I was on the cat cam.
I set up a dedicated Bob cam.
this has it basically has a sprung thing, and then a peg at the bottom. So it basically slides in like this.
Which way do I want it? Which way does this go? The mill,
So
that'll be the side, right? Yep, so I want
I
it
don't
on
think
that.
you have a choice.
you do not have a choice.
No, you could turn it upside down. It has pegs over here. Could make
But
it
the
go
latch-
on
It
each
does have
side.
but it doesn't have the latchy tab.
Well, that's dumb. Why put the holes there?
You don't know.
Maybe for a different locking mechanism, one that used bars to go up into those holes instead of a cam lock.
Got some powder coat
Yep.
interference. Let me just scrape the
Okay.
powder coat off.
Napping.
Oh.
I've got coffee. That's enough.
See if I can just sand it down without removing it. No.
Okay. Yeah, I brought my boron cup in honor of the stream. So this is, I have a friend who used his lathe to cut all the boron logos out on a cup for me.
Nice.
I don't know, Derek might be watching. If Derek Hawkinson is in the chat,
Sweet. Now, this thing. I need a snot of Bob and a yin yang.
I'm pretty sure he meant shot. Yes.
Well, it said snot, so I'm going to say snot. Okay, how does this go together? Is there a detail shot of this?
yeah.
Where? So does this go like this?
So you want it so that the front points down and the middle plate in the back goes straight sideways.
So that is closed. That's open. Doesn't matter.
It does. I put this handle in about 4 times.
Really? Which way does it need to?
So here's
Uh-huh.
so
Oh,
this,
down and over. So right like that.
correct.
So this is open. This is closed.
Correct.
Okay. And then we have
Anything.
this funny thing. Let's make sure that this is tight. And I don't think that needs to be more than finger tight.
And then what happens after you get that on?
Hmm.
You have to take your adjustable wrench and bend it until it creates tension between that and the tab on the wall.
Oh, bend the whole thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, but how does this little weird washer go? Does that just go like that and just kind of crush? It's a little cup washer.
On the back of the cam lock?
Yeah, so I've got this here, and then this goes on here,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But then I have this little bent little
Yeah.
cup here. Now
To go over
this
top of that to hold
actually-
that bar in place.
Check if the online thing has, the online instructions have any more information, or is it just a copy of
It's
this?
just a copy. There is a picture of it there. So I think that's correct. I think it must just, okay. Whatevs.
Maybe that's why mine's so sloppy. Mine handling those.
Since I got them, grab the Nipix and actually put some amount of torque on this. There we go.
Takuya, yeah, it arrived
Hey,
a couple of weeks
Takuya.
ago. Now we've got time to get it open.
Yep. Okay, that screw I set there in front of the Nipix. The Nipix.
Right. One solid cube. There's the link to the mill they're working on.
Interesting. Oh, nope.
No?
Apparently not.
Okay.
Not a 10. Oh, it is. There we go. Oddly. Might need just a little bit of bending. A little bit of bending in.
This.
Yeah.
Perfect.
One shot. One shot good. Why the blue thing, the base, what model mill is it? It's a 728 BT, which is what model?
There's some side chat about laser Voron mugs win. I think those are those are event things only, right?
No, that's just a personal friend that did that for me.
Yeah. There's, I mean,
They're around.
merch is something that we want to get a improvement on, but
We're ready to set it down on the
why
ground.
do I have these must be extras that you brought. These
Oh.
nuts on top, because I don't have enough to put two on the front then.
Thomas, if you look down the left-hand side of the handle, that side is straight, but since it's a tapered handle, it's okay that the other side is at an angle.
OCP warning.
Okay. Anything that you're seeing as an angle from there is a camera and shadows.
Oh yeah, they didn't put a nut on top of theirs. I guess I brought those nuts with me.
I think you brought those.
You want them or no?
I don't care.
They fit.
We need to shift them around when we adjust this anyway.
Okay.
This box out of
Yeah.
here.
Look, Bill in a box.
Well, lower yourself about, there you go. Now you're Wilson. It's quite the bottom cover. Exactly. And we still have a big tray that goes on top of
We
this.
do. It's in that other
Okay, we ready to,
cardboard box.
almost ready to set this on the ground and
We are.
bring the goodie box up?
You want to do it on this
I
side?
think we're gonna have to. There's nowhere else to.
Okay, ready?
Good? Yep.
It's way easier with two people. Where do you want to set it?
Just straight down.
Okay.
It's fine. Go.
And
Oh,
look
it's
at
lovely.
that, demonstrating proper lifting technique and everything. OSHA would approve.
Don't show OSHA any other part of my garage. Okay, let's set this thing on here and then open it.
Okay,
This is going to be a really heavy box too.
it is.
So I'm hoping we can
You just kind of tip it under it.
Side of this. This is a fun box.
Box of toys. Not much tape in that tape.
Oh, yeah. And here. Light. Hey, Wayne. Okay. We have this awful container.
You don't need this. I'll just take this one with me.
Mm-hmm. This is, or should be, the fixturing set.
Wow.
When you order one of these, there's all, I mean, when you go to that page, there's all the options you can order with it. And this is one of those that's, although the case here is not great, if you open it the wrong way, you create
Everything
a
falls
mess.
out.
Yeah.
Funny, if you turn it upside down and open it, it all falls out.
But the quality and value seems to be pretty good.
It is.
Power feed. I'll hopefully get to that. Set that aside. What do I got here? This is probably the, yeah, R8 drill. Call it. This is their ultra precision one, so we'll see what the run out ends up being. That was not necessarily cheap, but I don't know what a normal is for that. Then I ordered a selection. They had a pretty okay price of just end mills. Selections of end mills. I think I got four flute and 2 flute.
Now you've got your opportunity to design something for storing your end mills.
Yes. Yes. I don't know if this show up in, yeah, this is like a 40s era Cornwell tool chest. Currently it has most of my gizmos and whatever bits and stuff in it. It has some other stuff too, but at some point it'll end up getting dedicated to just these tools and mills and stuff. And yes, some sort of organization probably printed within those drawers.
40s era Cornwell. That's nice.
Yeah, I don't know where my dad got it. He didn't have it for, I don't think he had it for too long, but it was in his stuff and I ended up with it.
It is beautifully aged.
It is very patinaed.
It's a nice patina.
It is almost to the point of just a little grubby, but I need to take a little flat hammer to some parts of it. Oh, my collet set.
Oh no. Take a flat hammer to it?
Yeah, there's some bends in it that could be, if I'm careful, I'm hoping like a piece of wood and a hammer to get it kind of straightened out a bit.
You'll have to watch Dominic Chichi.
Oh yeah, all the collets. I've only purchased the Imperial because that's going to be probably the most common use on here. Collets, but for this type of thing, you need one for every size of thing you chuck up in there. The range of clamping is very narrow on collets like this. Okay, so
I'm
that.
gonna make you lift this.
Huh?
I'm gonna make you lift that. You need me to help with it?
Nope.
Got it.
If you take the box, that is the vise. So they recommend a 4-inch vise with this. Bill has a 2 6-inch
I have two
vise.
6-inch vices. Well, and the second one was kind of a mistake, but I didn't want to pay the shipping to send it back because it probably weighs 3 times as much as this.
It weighs a lot.
It's heavy.
But they recommend a 4-inch vise and you don't lose any Y travel. But you are limited in your clamping capacity. So I went with a 5-inch vise. Split the difference.
Take the stuff away if you want to pull that out.
Oh boy,
It's got a rotator on it.
it does. Leave that mostly in there right now. Oops, we're not even showing that. Actually,
There.
yeah, so
We're not even seeing what we're doing.
big old thing here.
I'm going to pull it
Maybe
out.
we'll pull that out when we get the mill up.
Okay.
Pull it the rest of the way out. That way it can go from here straight to the, I'll just leave it on here. I think it's too heavy to really.
We want to move
Okay.
this table out of the way when we attack this problem.
I'm just going to quietly chuckle to myself that you opened the box upside down.
Yeah, okay.
Shush.
We were inspecting the feet.
All
There.
better. All better. Okay.
All right. I'm gonna probably need
Shift
to
that out of the way a little bit.
shove this out of the way a little bit. I don't know whether you want to scoot it or not.
Yeah, I think it'll be okay.
All right.
So we have,
You cut the
These-
bands.
what should I be
Okay,
opening
tin
those
snips?
with? I do have 10
Wind Farms, he
snaps.
showed the chuck a minute ago. He's asking if it was an R8 to 1/2-inch drill chuck.
The drill chuck is R8 and the capacity on it was
Should be half.
1/64 to 1/2 inch.
And it's heavy.
It is heavy.
You would not want to drop that on your toe.
Will using Imperial Collets limit usage? No, because I can just buy an Imperial collet set. I just haven't done that yet. I mean, a metric collet set. Most of all of these end mills are all 1/4 inch and 1/2 inch, probably shank. Okay, and 3/8 inch. So that's the included rabbit case. Oh yeah. Here. So I've got impact driver. Oh no, we need tin snips. Tin snips.
Actually, if you want to use flat pliers, you can just twist it and it'll turn. And you cut it with 2 pairs of flat pliers.
Is that just to knock this apart?
No, you just put it on the bar like this and do this, and it'll tear the metal in two.
But 10 snips are easier.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they are.
I
We
have
some.
I have some. What are you talking about? Got some. What do we want?
Just-
There
We want
has been a
center
time or
cut?
two-
Center cut, left cut, or right cut?
It doesn't matter.
I know. I'm just
But-
saying. I'm just emphasizing that I have 10 cents.
Yeah, there's been a time or two that old man Bill had more tools than Steve. Just asking.
A time.
And Steve did his best to make sure that never happened again.
That's right.
Well, case in point, this whole stream.
It's stuck on the bottom.
We will be stopping by a house of beverages.
Doesn't want to come out. This one comes out.
Getting caught on the backside.
Yeah.
Okay.
Trim
Apparently,
the excess off.
huh?
Just trim it off.
Oh, we'll see where it ends up when I pull the grooves.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's all kinds of neat stuff you can do with that spring steel.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
we got impact driver. So, headphone warning, everyone. This will probably be at least a little loud.
Just a little.
Woo!
Does noise suppression take care of that? Beth, I'm going to wait till we get done before I do that.
Before what?
Rest said,
Or
I
the
need
beer.
a beer.
Oh,
I said, I have to wait till I get done before we do that.
yes. closer to the garage door here.
Hand me your handful. Okay.
There we go. Nice lag screws. Those will go in the extra fasteners bin.
Yeah. Well, mine went.
Only to wait for that perfect project. Okay. All the way up. Woohoo.
See.
Industrial cat toy.
Yeah, let's see if we can do this.
Yeah, set it on the other side
We're
of
gonna
that.
wait. What I was going to do is have you move this that direction.
Yep.
So you had,
There it is. Marcus.
monk. It's
The
me.
beers every time you open something you should drink. Oh no, not until this 370-pound thing is up on its stand.
I'm going to keep this
That's-
this way so we
That's
don't.
why the door isn't open so Felix can come visit either.
So we got, how's it tied to? Oh, it's all straps. Okay.
It's tape. Tape. Cherry picker looks brand new. Did you go out and get that just to lift the mill? No.
See, that's proof that somebody doesn't overanalyze your background very often. Because
'Cause it's
I've
been
seen
there
that
for a
cherry
while.
picker in many streams.
It's only been here since the Wednesday before Rocky Mountain, because Max brought it over. You know, for many people who may not use a cherry picker in their day-to-day work for its most intended purposes of removing engines and stuff like that, the cherry picker is the tool you need once or twice, and you spend the whole rest of the time trying to get rid of it.
They are also rentable.
Yeah. Hey, Jeff. And Max was successful in his mission. You got a box with the DRO. Now, there are two different options for the DRO on this system. There's a graphical and a just numeric. I saw a review from Quinn, Blondie Hacks, that mentioned lag on the graphical one. So I did not opt for that one. I think it needs to be, I don't know what's in here.
Quick read.
Needs to be instant. Any lag is just going to be frustrating. Oh, you already got all the stuff. Okay. Wheel and dial. Is this all for the for the Z, I think? Nope,
No, it's for everything.
for X. The wrench there, and other tools and bolts and knobs for the wheels. Okay. Now you have to get it off the floor, I know. Okay. Let's bring up the manual, because what are we supposed to remove the drawbar? Is that one of the early things we need to do? Removing the drawbar. With the table protected by scrap material, loosen the quill, lever lock, then lower the quill. So let me see what we have for, I think that's probably zoom in a little bit. Yeah, how are we doing here? We have 175 people. We are doing a filament giveaway about the 3-hour mark. If we last that long, I assume we will. But we are not at a 50% like ratio. Okay, so we're looking through all this. All these lines look okay. We've got a loose bolt over here. We've got, oh, We've got these all over the place. Do we know why? Looks like they're sitting here. Was this at one point supposed to be bolted to the crate?
Yeah.
It's not though.
Yeah, they had some vibrational.
Oh, are there some bolts that we might be missing then?
They're probably underneath. So these are loose too.
Oh.
Mine were like that.
Well, it'd be completely gone then because there's nothing to hold them.
Yeah.
Yours were like that?
Yeah.
I am going to shift over to wearing gloves though.
Yeah. I'm
You
gonna
want
do
some?
the same.
Here you go.
I brought mine.
You brought some?
Yeah.
Takuya has a word of warning for you not to buy too many toys because you need to have room for building things like Phoenix.
There is nothing else I'm going to build as big as Phoenix.
Famous last words.
Okay. How's our camera view here? Pretty good.
What Takuya didn't hear is that there's a good chance this might end up going in the shed. So if there was a chance of bigger machines, then I'm good for at least another one or two. Okay, what does it's saying something? Got the Z being held up by a couple of pieces of wood, but it said something about the quill. Says, with the table protected by scrap material, loosen the quill lock lever, then lower the quill. Swing open the drive cover while holding the spindle nose with the special wrench that's in here in this. Where was that? Did you grab the special wrench?
I do not.
Okay. I saw it. There it is. Special wrench. Not even a thing about that Nero is building. Oh, hell no. I have a Phoenix. I don't need another 600 millimeter printer, and especially one that's not a Phoenix. This looks a lot like, yeah. So the way many of these work is the castings and everything are common across so many of these machines. It's how the distributor specs the extra processing on those and the components surrounding them. So lift with your knees.
No, lift with your jack.
Yes. Yes. For this, lift with the jack. So we got that there. And then we lower the quill, right?
Yeah.
So the quill locks on that side.
I loosened it. Oh, right there.
There we are. And this, it says take it down, right? That doesn't seem right. I don't know what that actually means. So this guy goes here, and then what is
the first step is to hand crank the headstock down until the spindle nose is just clear of the table. That's the first step. So we want to crank the Z height all the way to the table.
Oh, so then we don't worry about the,
Yeah.
we want it all the way back. So we want the table all the way back. Oh, we got one bolt left.
Yeah, you were down to the setting up the mill, and we need to go through the box that's above that.
Yeah.
I used to have a picture.
Just moving the table all the way back, and then lower the.
Oh, here's the strap for this.
Now what? So this all the way down, but unlock the quill. Just leave it up is fine.
And crank it down until the spindle nose is just clear of the table.
Well, it's a piece of wood there, right?
Actually, they don't do it that way, but
But it said protect it with something, right?
Well, what they want you to do is they want to. No, you were reading the setting up the mill.
I thought you were supposed to remove the drawbar before you move it.
Well, so this box, if you follow this box here,
Oh, okay.
right, until the spindle nose is just clear of the table, then put your sling on,
Okay.
and then
Okay. So we'll lock the quill.
with the table protected by scrap material, loosen the quill lock lever, then lower the quill. Swing open the drive quarter, blah, 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 blah. While holding the spindle nose with a C-wrench, use a 17 millimeter to unscrew and remove the spindle cap. Okay,
We don't have to worry about any of that yet, right?
that's the next thing you're going to do.
So now we can lock this. Now we can get a strap around it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so but we need to, we're gonna take the drawbar out now.
But I thought you just said that's after doing this.
Well,
This is all.
it's sort of unclear. You just here's to watch out for, but it says here to do this now. So the table protected by scrap material, loosen the quill locker, then lower the quill. Swing hook in the drive cover while holding the spindle nose with a C-wrench and a 17 to unscrew remove the spindle cap. Remove the drawbar from the spindle, reinstall the spindle cap hand tight.
Okay.
I'm glad I printed these. It's lots easier when you have paper.
It definitely is.
Okay, so you need this. You got the C-wrench
Yep.
and a 17. Oh, you're going to use those. Okay.
I'm just going to use these.
Okay. It's probably tight.
Here, you want to take the top? I'll hold the bottom.
I'll be in camera view here.
Yep.
Out of view.
There we
There you
go.
go.
This will.
Do they want the cover off or just the drawbar?
They just want the drawbar out, and then you put this piece back on
Back in.
and tight.
Yeah.
Okay, so that, I don't know why. I wonder what the purpose of that is. To take the drawbar out.
Probably not just stretch it or do something
No
weird.
stress on it. Here's the cover. Just
Okay.
gonna set that right there.
Okay. Now we can
Boy,
play strap.
how beefy is that spindle? I don't remember what the specs specifically are on it. Takuya. It's brushless. I don't know what does it say on front on the front of it?
It's
What
1 horsepower,
1 horsepower.
DC 310 volts.
Okay.
It's a belt driven with 2-speed.
Should we pull any of this off? Or does it
And we
matter?
leave
It doesn't
that
matter.
on for it.
Doesn't
They have a
matter.
picture on the next page of where the strap goes.
Yeah, it goes right under here.
Yeah, you can't squish the oilers.
Yep. Get all this stuff out of the way.
And we have a little bitty clevis. Let me see if you can see this. Really small clevis so we don't drop it. You know, you sleep and 6 months later, you can't remember what the instructions were for some reason. So they actually use this exact strap. It goes.
How many Cheez-Its is it rated for? Crates, cases, shipping containers worth.
So they've got it set up. So this guy, if you look, it goes underneath like this.
And you notice they tie a knot in it
They did tie a knot in
so
it.
it doesn't shift.
And I think if you pull it back out the front, if you pull it out the front, it'll come.
Got it. It's the
You can do that too.
yeah.
Okay. You don't have a clevis on that, do you?
Oh, we've got stuff I can use.
Well,
So let's get this.
This will work.
We will need a hook on it.
Hook?
Well, I mean, on this side, not a hook, but a something.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we will need something on that side.
Yeah, I've got stuff. It's over here.
Start here.
Do you want to try the knot in the middle trick?
Yeah, I'm just
I
trying to.
kind of like that.
I'm just making sure that
You can go
because
through
your
without.
oiler path is a little different than mine.
Is it? Okay, and
Question is, can I get it in the middle?
then
Close.
I think we're probably going to need full extension here. 1,000-pound capacity at full extension, so we're good.
There's a question of what's the main camera that we're on?
The one that I'm standing in the middle of.
What's that?
What kind of camera is that?
Oh, that's a Sony A6400. That's the camera that's always coming on from like my shoulder view.
Mhm.
So we have this, which is a full swivel,
Okay.
which might be handy. Or I have the regular chain and thing.
So I've got the big clevis. If you want to use that, either way.
We can do this to the clevis. Probably be okay.
Okay.
And the follow-up question is the small camera, the one that's showing more of the room.
That is a Sony ZV-1. That's always the face camera, basically. Which one is the better view right now? This isn't as good. We could zoom in quite a bit. That might be better, huh? The other view. That
I think it's kind of a coin toss.
toss up, yeah.
So Steve, one of the things that I did is I was really nervous about this
Yeah.
fitting.
Yeah.
So I unscrewed this on mine. I unscrewed it right there and set the
That's probably a good idea.
because that looks like it would just break right off if you put any weight on it.
I agree. There we go.
Slide that like that.
Goes there.
There you go.
That goes there. That goes there.
That's all good.
And then we have nothing on the other side.
Right.
Oh, we do have this one. Are you not?
It wasn't pinching when I looked at it.
You don't think so? I don't think so either. I think it's fine. What we got here? Hey, nice. Welcome, welcome. So now we're gonna this around, and we're not going to be able to fully straddle this pallet. Might not be able to straddle it much at all.
Well, you kind of have to do the angly thing
Oh, there we go.
like that.
Ah, nice. The pallet is just tall enough. Let's go there. A little more.
Good.
There we go. Do we want to see how much this thing weighs? How much it actually weighs?
Sure.
Uh-oh. Nice 3D piece is giving away 10 memberships right now. So thank you.
Nice. Thank you very much. What do we have here? And you've been a member for 14 months. Appreciate it.
Well, that gives us lots of extra room.
Well, I don't really want to move it with this.
No, but
I was just thinking, get it the weight off, see what it actually says the weight is. Got a there.
What clevis fit in it?
Huh?
What fitness? You might have to turn it upside down. Mike, yep, we're gonna have to put it up though.
It'll fit.
But I have to.
What's that?
You'll have to turn it upside down. Upside down.
Oh, this won't fit through there?
No. Whoa! I got a rubber grommet.
You got a what? Oh, yeah.
I grabbed it and it went off.
Then that has to come out in order to go in there.
Yeah. Hang on.
Yep. I'd like to know how much this weighs. They say 370 pounds. Let's see.
Let's put up.
Maybe I can shift this to get a little better view. There. And maybe that is better, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, so with all the weight off, we turn this on. Nope. We want the zero
Tear it
out.
out. Yeah. Okay.
So now it's zeroed with that weight on it.
Yeah. Okay.
And where did I put the?
I guess
there it
this
is.
Edison stuff does weigh a little. Here, let me lean on it while you track it out.
Okay, but if you can stabilize it, because
I will do that.
If this wants to shift around, we
It
may
will.
not.
It will want to. It'll run that direction.
Are there any bolts remaining holding it to the pallet?
No. And then making sure we're not inching like there's a wire right here. Here we are. Wire's good now. Are we okay there?
Yep.
That's not going to hurt the worm gear thing there, right?
No,
I think it's
I'm gonna
fine.
turn that though.
Yeah.
I want you to let it down just a little bit. I'm going to put it beside the. Yeah. Now
Okay.
do it. I will keep it from sliding around.
Yeah.
Okay, you're actually up off, I think, aren't you? No, you're definitely off now. What do we say?
290 pounds.
I don't think it's quite done yet.
No, it's still on just a little bit. Still a little face.
It is really wanting to lean
Oh, what? Here,
forward.
hang on. The way you solve that problem is
I already moved that back all the way.
no. You, well,
The table is all the way that way.
yeah. Okay. All right.
It says 324 pounds right now.
Is it on the wood?
It's maybe a tiny corner of it. Now it's not.
No, it's not. It's swinging.
Okay, it's swinging. We're at 340 pounds. That's a beast.
They were close.
Yeah,
Okay.
340 pounds. Okay, so now I'm going to gently let it down. We'll get the scale out of there.
Okay. Do you want to swing it around so that it's square to this while we've got it up in the air?
As well, right?
Yep.
Okay, I'm coming down.
All right. See?
£340.
Maurice
they
says
say
technically it's a
370,
motor,
huh?
so
Huh?
technically it's a motor, so your intended use.
They say 370, huh?
They do.
Hmm.
I wonder what else that includes.
Facing mill? I don't know.
Wow. And we're also relying on a $25 scale from Amazon,
Yeah. Okay.
right?
Well, and you still got, didn't you have some extra handles in the package? Plus,
Oh, I bet that package only weighs 3 pounds. I guess I should get the thingy. Flip a spin.
all the little things always add up.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Make sure this is tight.
Okay. I'm
You're
gonna
going to make sure everything stays lined up.
I'm gonna put the belts in the right places. They're there. Okay. All the beans. You're up.
Level enough to be fine.
Yeah, don't put it any higher. You never want to lift anything higher than it needs to be. if anything were to happen, you don't want it to drop any further than.
Yep.
You're still going up. Why are you still going up? Oh, we're
Because-
gonna go on the. You're gonna gotta go on.
We
this
got to
thing.
go on the table too. Yeah. So we're going to have to go a lot higher.
But I'd rather.
But
Well,
we're going to shift it.
move.
I'm gonna move it
Yep.
down low.
Yep, so we're going to shift.
Okay,
And
here.
Nice points out that maybe that weight on the site was including the pallet.
I'll stabilize this if you want to move that stuff out of the way. Bolts.
Oops, sorry for the noise. Oh, it's on that. So
What's it on?
it's sitting on the. There we go.
Shift this. I think we need to.
It's this one right here.
There. Now it might come out. The wheels have shifted.
Okay.
Go.
Yeah, it should roll.
Okay.
So let's put the stand where we want it to be. At this point, we're stable here.
Yeah.
You want it to. So this is this. This is this.
We have the tray over here. So
Yeah.
I am going to put this underneath it because it's the smaller pallet, and we're going to let it sit here while we mess with other things. So you want to help me?
Sure.
I know that this pallet or this engine hoist will slowly drain down, so I want to control that. So we're just going to set this right here,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll get the stand in place and leveled. There we go.
There you go.
There we go. Cool.
My question is, I guess I left my level out in the car.
Okay.
I'll get my level. You want me to get my level now, or we'll just wait till we get it up?
Do we want to level the stand without the machine on it, or you need to do it with the machine on it?
I leveled mine with the machine on it because I figure that's what matters.
Makes sense. I have plenty of ceiling height. One of the really nice things about my garage here is years ago, you can see kind of the remnants of it on the wall back here. But years ago, I went to a high lift garage door setup with the opener on the side, one of the LiftMaster openers. I have 10-foot ceilings in here and no garage door, even when it's open, it's not in the way. So there's no like the garage door opener used to hang right here. That would have definitely been in the way. But that was one of the best things I did in here is have them swap out the rails for a high lift. So then the bolts go all the way through the. We got a nice recess here. You can kind of barely see. That'll be a collection over time of all the chips.
Pig mat.
Pig mats are great.
So that's
They are
gonna
great. I tried some fake ones and went back to pig mats. They're really expensive, but they're worth every penny you pay for them. What do you want to do now?
I think can we kind of squeeze it, or do we need to?
Open the door? I don't know. Where are you going to try to put it? Right here?
Let's open the door. We're gonna go back about where it's gonna be. There we go.
Okay.
Slide it in place. Let's look at.
It's crooked.
Let's go here. I think there was in the specifications, there's a width that it needs. Chip tray,
Yep.
table, was a machine footprint. Here we go. Footprint width of the x-axis, I think it's 41 inches is what we want to make sure we have to either side. Hey, Kegel.
Well, you also need room in the back.
Huh?
You do need some room in the back.
footprint depth is 30 inches. So I think if we're approximating where I want this, I want it about right where it is in terms of width.
Okay.
I was going to go 2 feet
Okay.
to the middle, and then I'm going to want to be able to get in around it. So right there is probably not a bad spot.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's way easier to move it before you put the.
Yes.
Does it go with the door off to the side like that?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Here is my, if we can get just a approximate
Mm-hmm.
level. What size was
One
the,
solid cube, yes, it does have leveling feet.
yeah. What size are the nuts on there? Are they the same size as this, or are they
Yes.
smaller? They are the same size as that?
Yeah.
Looks like about 19 millimeters, 17 or 19? 19.
It goes on a semi-imperial thread, so I'm not sure what size outside of the nut is.
This'll do.
As long as it works.
Okay, so
I touched my head from being fuzzy. Okay. While you're doing that, I'm going to wander out for a second. I'll be right
what's that?
back. I wander out in the middle of the stream. Except I got to wander the other direction.
You need another wrench?
No, I'm just going to go get my.
Oh, get your level. Yeah,
Yep.
perfect. Yeah, you'll have to climb your way through there, pull up on the door handle.
Yep.
Now Oscar gets confirmation that there's a stranger here, and he'll disappear under the bed for the next 4 hours. It's a little much. Really close.
Well, close is all you're really after at this stage, right? You're gonna have to you're fine tune it with the machine on.
Yep. It's 2 down this side. It's all this. There we go.
Max joined chat.
Max. How's it going, Max?
He says more relaxing than whatever you're doing right now.
I don't know. How many kids do you have over there? And when was that? That this weekend or last weekend? That was really close. Let's see if we retained front to back. We did. We are close to level. Did you get a orange streak sighting?
No.
Ah. Water.
So I don't have the super duper duper version of the precision level, but
Nice.
this will help. This is an example of a precision level that's, I think it's 1,000th over 18 inches.
Wow.
Very cool. Okay. I think we're ready to get this thing on there.
Okay. Whenever I did my gloves. There they are.
Wasn't there a tray that needed to go on top of the stand?
Yeah. I figure we'll slide it under it when we get closer. Otherwise, moving around, I'm afraid we'll just knock it off because it gets held in with the same bolts that bolt the machine in place.
Yeah, it's, and the outside coating is quite slippery.
Might want to change the camera
Yep,
view.
thank you. See, Bob's doing his job.
Yeah.
It's about time.
I don't have to pay attention to the stream as much as the whole point. Okay, I think if we want to grab that, so that's tight, grab the palette.
Okay.
Oh, I see.
Dodge the door.
I see.
Yes, Max, we were discussing that earlier. You successfully rehomed it.
Yeah. I said, anyone who doesn't use one of these on the regular needs one for about 2 days, and then the rest of the time they're trying to get rid of it.
I've used mine twice.
Let's before it gets too high,
Okay.
shift over, in front of and over. That way then we're only going one direction.
Yep. Okay.
There we go.
All right. We need the Jeopardy song playing. Da, 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 da. I can't do that too loud. I might get a musical strike.
Nick, the creator, says rehome. Does Steve need to buy mill treats now too? Yeah, mill treats is the material you put in it to cut.
I think we're above level.
Yep, we should be there.
Okay. Are we ready? Here, let me just
Yeah.
at least get this staged over here.
Yep. And it slides around enough that
Yeah.
you can slide it pretty easy without it getting down on the jack. Okay. Forward hoe. Okay. Is that as far as you can go?
Huh? No.
Okay.
I knew we were rubbing.
Okay. Well, right about there. Now, one of the things
Is
that I
it going to
did.
run coolant?
See,
Is it going to run coolant, mister, or just air?
Don't know. What's that?
the long bolts.
Mhm.
What I did is I dropped one down in each hole so that it got sort of close.
Yep. And we can use them to kind of pull them in, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, and maybe one of them is this long guy, because it's longer than these by a little bit. Here, if you want to be able to guide it that way.
Yeah, yep, yep.
Which bolt is it used? It's the outside ones, right? The big ones?
The big ones.
Wow, it definitely needs some. It needs some bigger bolts.
Yeah,
Are we ready?
yep. Just gently.
I guess I'll guide it up here.
Okay. We still have plenty of slidey space, so we're good. Okay. Yep. Brings down a little bit.
Yeah, both of them kind of sitting over here.
Watch your fingers.
Yep.
Let's try to get the back here.
Hmm?
Back here. There. Okay, I'm in a hole here. Okay. Well, close enough for government work.
Yep.
Okay.
Shift it around
And
from there.
while it's still got just a little bit of play there, pull the plastic out from underneath it.
There's no plastic
the opposite.
under it.
On the opposite side here. There you go.
Yeah. Yep. We in place.
All right.
I don't see the hole over here.
Yeah, it's easier to see it if you open the door and look up.
If you what?
Open the door. and take a peek at, see where we're at.
You can't open it much.
Feel.
I think we need to shift the table or it around a little bit.
Okay. Look at this one. That is, they really made a big hole in the front of that.
They're huge. Yeah.
Okay, just up just a
Does this even go through to where we can bolt it in?
It should.
There you go.
It'll work. There. I need another corner.
How much you can move that?
Yeah, you can move it a lot. Where's the other ones up here?
Not plastic wrap, it's a micro shim. Does that one go in?
I'm trying to find it.
Are we?
So we're pretty crooked in the front here.
Are we?
Yeah, see it, see how both head. Wow. Okay.
Barnyard, no, the mill does not come with gummies.
The bolt size for holding this down is not ideal.
I agree with that.
There. The whole thing, I think, needs to go back a little bit.
Okay. Okay, now you're loose. Why don't I take a washer while you're at it? I'll hold it. You go get a washer real quick.
These washers are
There's these big
measly.
ones, yeah.
Very measly.
Oh, that's little bitty. Oh,
Yeah, that's what it has. It's. I need
okay,
to.
I'm in.
I need to. Is it ready to go down?
You don't have a washer on your side.
Well, I know, but we can put washers.
Okay. I spent 20 minutes pushing mine around trying to get it set up with a.
Well, this needs like a 1/2 inch bolt, and it's got a 1/4 inch.
Yeah. Well, mine hadn't fallen off yet, so it's really to keep
Even-
it from slippy sliding. I can't do it with gloves on for sure.
Okay, those are all in.
Okay.
It looks pretty centered and in place. I think we're okay.
Okay. Want me to put nuts on that?
Well, we'll get the thing out of the way so we can actually open that door the whole way.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
Engine hoist's too clean, needs more greasy handprints. Did I get a duck with it? No.
If it was from Big Tree Tech, it wouldn't fit at all. Okay.
Okay, we ready to take this up
We,
out of the way?
we need to let it down, yep.
Unfortunately, these added camera angles and perspectives shows other creators the actual size of the machines.
Uh-huh.
So Max is now disenchanted with Blondie Hack's mill size.
No, actually, this is the same one that Blondie Hacks has right now.
Yeah. It's just
Correct,
that it
but
looks a lot
in
bigger
her
because
shots-
her cameras are, angles are always close-ups.
Yeah.
Okay, so this. Go out of the way.
Houston, the Eagle has landed.
Just in place.
All right.
I may move it back a bit, just looking at where it is right now.
Gonna take
But I think I'd
plastic off.
rather do that
Care whether I
once
take
the.
plastic off.
Yeah, that's fine.
Unlock it. Z right here.
I think I'll do that once we get it firmly bolted to the table. That way we just shift the whole thing back. What is that?
What's that fitting you pulled off? Does it
Oh, I
still have the crush washer in it?
Did it have one?
Yes.
There's no washer. I don't see a washer.
It's a little brass thing that squeezes down on the
Yeah,
plastic.
yeah. We'll have to look.
Okay.
Set that in there.
It's probably in there. Just
Hopefully
you'll know
it's
when
in
you squish the handle.
Yep.
It has an automatic. Well, not automatic. It has a manual oiler that you can oil the machine by pulling back on the handle. And we disconnected the oil line so that we wouldn't break the fitting off the side.
there. Okay.
Put this over here.
Yep. Oh yeah. I didn't know how big Quinn is, Steve, for scale. Okay. I got oil-soaked desiccant.
We're not impersonating Blondie Hacks. We'd have to do the fingery thing. This is Blondie Hacks.
This one. This bolts all around.
We're going to have to find it.
It's over here. Then we should have washers for the bottom too. Oh, it's not there? Are we sure it was there?
No, I'm not. Maybe it's in the hole. It probably is in the hole. We'll have to look.
A little pin, a little hook to get it out.
Since you were doing the disassembly, I did not see.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's get this bolted in place.
Okay.
Which is going to be a little bit of...
While you bolt in place there, I will disassemble packaging.
They do not give you much room. I'm going to give my hands a break and also gain the dexterity.
When this was delivered, when this was delivered, did they bring it into the garage for you or
They did.
drop it on the curb?
They dropped it exactly where it was when we opened it. I didn't have to move it at all.
Yeah, I've been really happy with the shippers that Precision Mapping has used for my two machines. Technically, if you tell them to put it in your garage and they don't feel like it, then they'll charge you an extra fee. But the two guys that I've dealt with on delivery of my machines are like, "You want that in your garage?" And I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Okay, point to where you want it," and he drops it right in the spot. So. You need another arm?
Nope. Well, maybe for that last corner one. So far I haven't.
Okay.
But
I found those
So
to be
Stooge,
relatively. Sorry?
for a while, this is its final home.
I think I got it, Bill.
Okay.
Getting a good view of the X lead screw, but what size is this thing? We determine, is this a 12 or 13 or it looks like 13. How will you move it when you decide its final home? That's a great question. That's a future Steve problem.
Or when you decide to put those other feet on it.
Well, that's not going to be too bad because you just little toe jack or something to bump or incrementally lift it.
Okay. So.
Yep, 13. And I will be switching out these bolts still.
Yeah. Okay. I'm laying these keys for the wheels on top of them, Steve.
Okay. Well, that one's never going on.
That's true.
Huh?
Oh, yeah, that is true. Steve and his motor.
Uh-huh.
That, you know, he loved my mill. I'll walk up here we can see me. He loved my mill a lot. The challenge was that after 10 hours of doing this, he was like, oh, my shoulder.
I was. You donated a bunch of printers to the local high school in exchange for them letting you borrow the entire football team to lift it for you. There we go. Ken put the handles on so we can move this around. So the next thing we need to do is get it cleaned up.
Yeah. Yep.
Interesting. Look at this. This is kind of interesting. Oh, it rubs off. Never mind. It's just you see that? It rubs off though.
Okay.
Okay.
There's a lot of glop on this stuff.
Huh?
There's a lot of glop on the machine.
Yeah.
It's thin, but that's good because that means it didn't rust in transit.
And we also think that the little acorn nut thing is inside.
The little acorn nut thing.
Well, for the
Oh yeah, I was going to try to look in there with the flashlight.
I was going to see if I can get this. Get this in there.
I know somebody that owns some PTFE. We could probably get some.
Might have just a little bit lying around.
Yeah. And we're down to cleanup and leveling.
Clean up and leveling. There it is.
Oh, good.
Well, and installing that motor.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, that too.
Jeez.
I mean, not to put too fine a point on it, but you've only got 20 minutes left in your bet.
Yeah, you know what? That's the most expensive thing I bought. My wife would paint.
So I wonder if this thing ever, yeah, there it is. That's how far it went on. That's how it, is it just barely sticks out there.
Yep.
So I think we're okay. That goes there. This comes around. Some pressure on that as I tighten this down. I have my little Knipex next to my keyboard. The little ones.
Here's me. Oh, here's the little ones.
Cool.
Oh, we got the DRO too.
Yeah. I think we prioritize DRO and cleanup and go from there. HDRO. I got the 100 stooge because Blondie Hacks mentioned that the graphical one, the 200, had lag. And I do not think I would tolerate lag.
I want to get a Dr. DRO for mine, but that's another project, and right now I'm forbidding myself from adding more projects.
Here you go.
What is a Dr. DRO?
It's a open source project that basically a guy has put together a DRO controller using a tablet. And so it's a fully graphical interface and does all the magical circles, trapezoids, stuff that you might want to do from a manual milling perspective.
There we go.
There's 2 or 3 open source DROs on in that people are building, but he is by far the most polished with his. And you can either do one that's fully built, assembled, ready to bolt on, or you can start with the circuit board and find your own parts and everything else. Okay.
Any idea what the first thing I will make?
A mess.
Yes.
I can handle that.
Valid.
And the second thing you'll make is a broken tool.
Need a new camera set up for the mill. We shall see. How this fits into stream content will be interesting to figure out.
Rule number 2, don't block Steve.
Where did we put all of the white towels?
It would be a very large, a really loud stream to use that machine on.
They're pretty quiet.
Yeah, you'll see once we get it moving.
I was pretty astounded how quiet the machine was.
The pie in the sky idea in my head is to do stuff like little short things leading up to prepping for a stream. So if I have a build that I want to do that requires some machining, release some videos of that machining, and then use those parts on a during the
project.
build. Yeah.
You can crank that down so you get to the top.
Is that? So we'll be wiping off using WD-40 as the solvent, wiping all the ways. That's good. If you want to step out of the way, I don't want to overspray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
WD-40.
I'm sure most of us probably do know what that tastes like.
Yeah.
It's not very tasty.
There's a plastic scraper for like this stuff, but that works. So this is just going to be, before we really move around with this thing, we need to clean all this shipping protectant off. So it's just part of it. What does anybody have any suggestions in chat for things to use this for? Sure, there's all kinds of things that I haven't even thought of yet. That's the whole point. This is one of those fundamental or foundational tools. Like, I mean, at the level of the drill press, the 3D printer, you use all of these in combination for a project.
So we've got Scott says maker coin. Maurice says make a tic tac with it. And Max says square the ends of your MGN rails because they're never square.
Yep. That is the primary, I think, most common use I'll have for it is squaring up extrusions and rails and such.
Bolt on aluminum extrusion alignment squares.
Yep.
Ooh, even some along that same thought process, the little printed parts that we use to align rails to the tops of extrusions, something that actually fits with minimum or no play.
Yep.
That gets to be difficult with the coatings that we have on our extrusions.
Agreed. Actually, why don't I leave that all the way back and I'll get the front of this.
That just means you need to put a flexure it needs to be steel and then put a flexure in it, so you can put a, or even make it wider and drop a feeler gauge in beside the rail.
And Greenbeard has it correct. If YouTube has taught us anything, you'll make fixtures.
Yeah. Well, after you've been milling stuff for a while, one of the things that you learn is fixturing is often the biggest part of the job.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to figure out how to hold on to this thing so the mill doesn't throw it in the floor.
You use the tool to make jigs and fixtures for the tool and never actually use those to make other things.
Sadly true. I've made a lot of things for other people. I've got a guy who lives in my neighborhood who came over yesterday and basically said, I have something I need to use your mill for. I go, yeah, we could probably do that. So
it's been suggested, and I'll take it a step further. You can move on from Knipex and you can start your own brand of parallel jaw pliers with printed inserts for the jaws.
Okay.
that means you need to be able to do drop forging. Let's see, how much does a forge cost?
What if you take some other tool as a base and modify it?
Well, hardened tools, you start talking about expensive tooling in it if you're going to start trying to cut hardened materials. I know I've tried cutting some hardened stuff. There's a reason it's called hard. Okay.
If the first thing you print is replacement printer parts, what's the equivalent for the mill?
I can tell you what mine's going to be. Well, I mean, I already cut a whole bunch of stuff. Steve's still thinking about his, I think, but fundamentally, I think I'm going to buy I'm going to buy an X motor for mine. And there's a guy online that has a project where he builds a bracket for the motor that doesn't cover up the access to the hold down screw trays.
Yeah. This motorized X setup on here, it just clamps on the casting on the end here. It's not ideal. It uses up, it makes it difficult to put your T-slot nuts in from this side as well. So that will be use the mill to make a modification for the mill project.
I've got a whole list of mods that I want to do in mine, but
yeah. Motorized Z is one I want to do. I want to do something with probably a NEMA 23 and a little controller to do motorized Z on this.
I've been watching the basically the toolbar, automatic toolbar changer thing that you can put on these, but I have to wait and see. Stooge, for the Z, you probably don't need more than a 23.
Yeah. You if you wanted to move an actual axis on this, then you definitely need more than the 23. But for just electronic movement up and down, you're not trying to cut while it's moving. So there's the geared DC motor setups you can buy for it. I just thought it would be a fun, because it's a very simple setup. I thought it'd be a fun project for it.
Is there a bellows on Y to stop chips?
Yes.
Yes.
This is right here. It's for Y and Z. It's this thing. This is something that I think Quinn Blondie Hacks changed out because it can get bunched up and it's not as nice as maybe some bellows setup. Didn't she change it out on hers?
I think so.
Or talked about it anyway.
Yeah, she talks about it. Yeah, the other shortcoming that she talked about has to do with the quill. Have they?
Yeah,
Still got the fiddly quill.
yeah.
The bracket that's used to hold the quill DRO is frankly inadequate. So basically everybody takes and mills their own little block and screws the quill DRO to a little block, and it sturdies it up, and then it reads accurately.
This isn't too far from being wiped down of all the shipping oil.
So the mill, Steve ordered his mill with the DRO pre-installed. All I have to do to install the DRO is to hang the head and plug the wires in. If that's what you mean by digitalized. But if you mean like it has closed loop steppers or servos, no. Here's the motor driver.
Yes, right here. And I will develop a RSI in my shoulder very quickly. What do we got? So little reminder, we are doing a Polymaker giveaway. We'll do that in the next half an hour or so at the normal 3-hour mark. So link is in the description and the pinned post. Yeah, this is motorized Z is 100% worth it, Bill.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, motorized X. Z is nice too, but X is the big one.
Joseph, it's on, there's a 3-axis DRO setup. So X, Y, and Z. It's just the quill that has a separate DRO that isn't, it's kind of funky, but generally speaking, you don't use the quill DRO much, or at least I don't. How long is the power cord? Pretty long. Wasn't mine.
I've got a heavy duty extension cord here. Don't look too close at it, Max.
Yeah, Tuxedo, I think they covered that earlier. It is 120 volt.
Yeah. Okay.
Looks like it's 1.5 meters.
So that was a new towel when I started. Get all that stuff off of it.
I have a tendency on my tools to take a high quality extension cord, cut the end off of it, and wire it directly into the machine so that I end up with a cord that's exactly long enough for what I need. And I'm not using Chinese wiring or Chinese markings for how much wire's in the wiring. But not everybody's that anal about their ASTs, so it's just a matter of what floats your boat.
So now that I've cleaned it all off, I'm wiping a thin layer of whey oil all over for protectant. And then the oiler system that is part of the machine will help keep things nice and lubricated. Since I just wiped all that protectant oil off, we want to make sure it is continuously protected.
Stooge says It's still a new towel. It's just now a dirty new towel.
This is true.
Uh,
Okay. Now,
okay. And so some of you guys were asking about covering the different portions of the machine. The Y has a sliding cover style
yeah, there's little,
that covers up the
little
lead
things
screw.
right in here. And
Admiral Adams, 22 gauge is probably about right for a fuse. Yeah, that would be it.
what?
He was asking if 22 gauge would be about right, and I said,
For
yeah,
a fuse?
For a fuse.
Oh,
You would crank for a while?
I only needed to do enough to catch what was underneath here.
Okay.
Oh, Canrog.
What's Canrog saying? We still there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's saying that watching a grown man lubing his tool was not the way he was expecting to spend his evening.
On the edge. Just because I'm not in chat to give you warning. Bob will.
Uh,
3:27 a.m. That's awful early.
Moving nice and smooth, especially the Z here.
Yeah.
Okay. I am almost done. Then I'll give a
Okay.
wipe down of the non-exposed areas just to get the extra oil that I've imposed on here.
Okay. I'll open up PC parts.
There we go. And then brush. Where did I put all the towels? Right over here. Yeah.
TS3D, this was specifically not going to be CNC.
Yeah. They make a CNC kind of enabling kit for it. It's not like, it doesn't include steppers or servos. It doesn't include electronics, but it includes all the peripheral stuff like the ball screws and the stepper mounts or servo mounts and stuff. Clow 42, CLOUGH, is doing a series on his YouTube channel of converting this exact mill to CNC and what he's done to do that. And he's doing a fantastic job of it. I'm following it. It's very cool, but I don't plan on going that same route with this one. I don't plan on it. I don't know what the future holds, but my intent is to enjoy this as a manual mill.
I looked at his bill of materials and decided I didn't need that project this year.
So if anybody was interested in one of these, Cloud 42 has in his video descriptions of those videos covering that a 5% off coupon.
Yeah.
So,
Which is worthwhile on a tool this size.
yeah. This right here is 100% not sponsored. Hashtag not sponsored, as Quinn would say.
Yep. I have to say, I had some delivery challenges with my lathe from them, and I called them, and I don't think I've ever received that level of support from a company before. Right? So we worked through my problem. They told me what I needed to do. And they said, that should take you a couple hours. Are you working on it right now? And I said, sure. And they called me in a couple hours and says, how's it going? Is it working? Do we need to do something
Wow.
else? I mean, it was pretty phenomenal.
That's
So
impressive.
I do like them as a company.
I ordered this and did my due diligence to the extent I could on if there were any coupons or anything before I did it. And they have a page on their site basically saying that they don't really do sales. So I figured, okay, and I ordered it. And then like 2 days later after I ordered it, I saw Klaus' latest video about the CNC conversion and noticed the 5% off discount in the description. And when I called them to talk about delivery plans, because given nothing else, it probably would have been delivered while I was in Colorado. I also mentioned that coupon code and they said, yep, we'll refund it to your credit card. No problem. So that was very nice.
That's outstanding service.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And that was more than that, Stooge. This in total. So here's with everything I bought here, beyond the base machine, with shipping and tax, it was about a $6,600 machine. So I ended up with over $300 back for that 5%. That is all cleaned up. Now we're gonna you're getting the DRO ready?
Yep.
So it comes with the DRO sensors or rails, whatever you call it, pre-installed. That's one thing that they do on order. So it takes several days for them to even get your order out because they're doing things like installing the DRO rails and such. So, but the unit itself, the display and everything, we get to install. It is not from China, Thomas. So Precision Matthews is located in Pennsylvania. The machine is made in Taiwan. Yeah. And that's, yeah. I'm not buying a 3D printer stuff. Bad news. You'll wish it was. That is so true. Got good support. Like US siding absolutely screwed me. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, do we have any? You have instructions there?
Right here.
We put this bracket on first, I take it. That is some of the lightest cast metal.
It's really nice.
It doesn't even feel like aluminum. It is metal, right?
Yeah.
It's like powder or something.
Do you want to level that any further now that it's on its stand?
We could, but let's get this stuff installed. I don't expect, so this is a good point here. I don't expect to go through a full tramming on this on stream. Full tramming can take hours, getting everything dialed in. And I think the final leveling of it falls into that same category.
Well, we trimmed mine. It took about an hour.
But yours was already done.
Well,
We're going through.
No, I'm saying you measured it and you go, I need to retrim this machine. Okay.
But still, an hour.
Yeah. I'm not, I'm just saying that it's, so it can vary. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. We need to level the bed. So the idea is to kind of maybe go through, if we have time, go through a first iteration of things, but not going through a full thing. This could be aluminum. It's an interesting coating.
I think it's cast aluminum.
You think?
Yeah.
It feels even lighter than aluminum though. So a regular stream. What are you talking about, Joey? Okay, how does this go on? This goes to the back of the DRO,
Mm-hmm.
and this goes
This
to
one
the.
goes in the machine.
This goes here.
There's the bracket already on the back.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so this bracket mounts to that bracket.
Does this have automatic bed leveling, or do you need to try to identify it? Just install a beacon probe, no problem.
4 is a punched washer.
Zamac. What is Zamac?
It's an alloy of zinc,
Oh, okay. I've never heard of that.
magnesium. It was
Huh.
done in World War II.
Ah,
It probably is Zamac.
it's the-
You know the little metal cars that were cast?
mhm.
That's Zamac.
Oh, okay.
That one's
It's better than Bakelite.
Is a 4. I don't know. Bakelite has its place.
It does.
So
One of my early fusion projects for somebody, someone at work has or collects, what is it? Morris Minor cars.
Ha!
British MG, what is it? What's the company? MG, right? Anyway,
Yeah.
Morris Minor is in that same family of cars. And they have a shroud around the steering column where your turn signal stock comes out of, and that's made out of Bakelite. And there's one that was broken on their car, and that's a very curvy kind of organic shape. And Morgan's Garage, thanks, Stooge. And I managed to very closely duplicate that, modeling it up and printing it in ABS for them.
Wow. Well, Bakelite is still a thing. There's still people doing it,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, it's not nearly what it used to be.
Yeah.
So,
Is it running yet? It could. We could turn it on, but we're gonna plug in the DRO first. And this is nice. This is not plastic. This is a metal housing. This is an all metal housing on here. You can kind of see just painted metal.
With a proper grounding screw.
It does. Mhm. And a probe port. Interesting.
here's your grounding strap.
Grounding strap. There we go. So what are we doing? You're way ahead of me on the instructions.
I'm
So
trying to find the right parts. So all I'm doing is looking at the
oh, there we go.
diagrammatical
The diagram we're going off of.
IKEAgrams.
So we have is this the, nope, that's the drawbar. Where's the piece that goes up in the bottom of the,
There's there's got to be another sack of
what is all
stuff.
this from? That looks like
This-
bolts for more bolts to
Yes, it does.
bolt the thing down.
We got a group of
Hardware.
folks joining in from another stream.
But what? Really?
Who's raiding in?
Raid? Oh, awesome. Thanks, Keela and Jeremy. Howdy, howdy. That's awesome. You have to remind me to look for if anybody else is streaming we can raid into when we're done. First time I've gotten a raid. Yeah, I appreciate it. Appreciate it. We're going to see you folks at Midwest, right? That's going to be one of those really fun events for me because I'm not tied at all to a table, not to any degree.
I do not know where the parts are.
Are we missing parts?
Well, we're supposed to have an M10 by 75.
It's not in here, is it?
Well, that's the stud. That's this one.
Okay,
What's 3? M10 by
And they
60
say yes, they will be
Allen
at Murph.
awesome.
head. The M10 Allen head right here. So you got to have enough washer stack to do this twice.
Do you?
Yeah, because it rotates at this end, rotates at that end.
And is there any? Oh, we got washer in the middle. Should have some washers in the middle.
Yeah, I just
Yeah,
counted
that's
them
fine.
out.
I think the nylon ones are probably in the middle.
They are.
I would
They
imagine.
are. I was just trying to make sure that I wasn't double or not counting.
Let's do this. We're doing all of this. Oops. Sorry for the shaky cam. I don't want to walk all the way back over there and reset it up. Zoop. There we are.
All right. Let's see.
Hey, Mr. Excuse. Ladybug, thank you for subscribing. Share Money. I bought a manual mill, and we are setting it up.
We should have 4 nylons. We only have 2.
Yeah, got all the tools out. What do we need 4 nylons?
And then I'm only seeing 2.
We're missing a thing of fasteners.
Ah,
Oh, was there more in there?
your assistant is throwing away good parts. Look, big bolts and washers and stuff.
Hey, looks like exactly what we were looking for.
There we go.
And this is just a stud, huh?
Yeah.
Are there different thicknesses on these nylon washers?
6. So the part that goes, the stud part goes into the DRO.
This part? Okay,
Yeah.
so there's a bolt that goes through here. So this is the one that goes here.
The bolt goes through here.
Yep. This is a little... There's a lot of reddish in there.
4.
See that?
Yeah.
Coat this.
Oh, don't knock it. That's a silly question.
First build with the PM should be another manual mill. So far as point of reference, how's the documentation compared to, say, a Voron doc? There's different... This isn't, we're not building something, we're setting something up. There's a difference between building something and setting it up.
Yeah, this is more like a printer that you get 3 pieces and it's got 12 bolts. So it's just bigger and heavier.
Yeah. I'm gonna coat this.
How is it compared to an IKEA guide then?
It doesn't have the little man in the picture in the front of the manual that says, don't drop this on your toe and have 2 people carry it around. That's the difference. I speak IKEA pretty well. In fact, my wife has orders for me to stop by IKEA on the way home from Steve's house. 4 is a punch washer. Okay.
Just don't let your phone die when you're about to check. So you go around the top level at IKEA. And you take pictures of everything you want and what bin it's in on the first level. And the challenge is to not let your phone die before you get.
Yeah, so I did it a different way. I said, take a picture of everything that you want me to pick up and send it to me on text and what the bin numbers are, and I will pick it up. I'm not going to go around looking at everything. I don't want to go through the mouse maze. I just want to go down to the warehouse.
See how dirty this bolt was?
Steve,
Huh.
you know that when you go into the IKEA, they have little pads that are made specifically for that with pencils so you can write that stuff down?
So I'm not relaying my experience. I'm relaying my wife's experience going there with somebody just recently. Yes, pen and paper is... the battery will not die on pen and paper. What's this?
These set screws go in here. Can't really see.
What do we got? Or goes to IKEA for the Swedish meatballs. I have not had IKEA Swedish meatballs in a long time.
IKEA's layout is inspired by D&D, including the pen and paper.
I'm not going to be able to do this without a hex-head driver.
Is it made of cardboard like IKEA? No. That whole assembly there is probably near 400 pounds. Stand and everything. Oh, is that for leveling it? Or
Tightening it, yeah. But it doesn't seem to want to go in.
are there any? I don't see any threads in it.
There are no
Grub
threads in there.
screws.
No threads.
These are grub screws.
They are grub screws, but the piece here is not threaded. What are those for?
They tighten up against those two bolts so that it's, so 9 says they're M6 by 8 Allen grub screws.
I can thread that. I've got a tap.
If they tighten up against the bolts, wouldn't they go in a different
Well,
location than that?
It's at the four corners of this little plate, and I think it's so you can locate the DRO. You can change the angle of that plate. Is that what it is?
Well, I think what they've done is they've used 2 screws to mount this thing with.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see it on camera?
Yeah,
There you go. They've got 2 screws to mount this thing with, and then they have a grub screw in each corner so you can place tension on it.
But why?
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's because they hired a mechanical engineer and it had some more complexity.
Well, but that's mounting to the head of the unit, right?
Correct.
So could it be a side effect of the vibration?
Could be. But Loctite is a really nice thing. I don't know. Let's see if I can find.
6.
There was a question if you figured out the gift membership issue.
That's a great question. Let's find out. I haven't done anything. No, it won't let me gift memberships.
And Miss Lee Marie was also stating that they're having that same issue. So maybe they've been taken away.
Oh, interesting. It would be nice to be notified. It's so they can adjust the angle of the arm so the DRO is not falling off. It's even on older mills. That's what I said. I thought it was so you can adjust the fine angle of it. That sucks. They took them away. Didn't Daniel just have them on Wednesday?
Well, maybe it's tied
I
to the
can tap
XP
those.
thing, like they're saying there.
You take the other.
Oh.
They added the rankings in chat and
Did
took
you
away
get-
gifting memberships.
Did you guys get the rankings thing?
Take this apart so you can get that better.
Yeah, they got the rank thing too.
You got the rank thing too.
I'll let you look over here into the camera.
I was looking for my, either over here. Oh, yep, there they are. I love this thing. I bought these. There's another Bill influence. This little tapping
I'll
guide.
tell you what, that is
That is
the cat's
such
meow.
a simple tool, but super handy.
I'm gonna.
What's that? What's
I'm
that
gonna-
piece I'm supposed to tap?
It's. Hang on.
Oh, you put it over here.
I'm gonna measure to make sure you're gonna use the right tap before you do that.
Make sure it's M6 by 1.
Mm-hmm. I mean, not that has never. They've never made a mistake like that before.
I would much rather have being able to gift memberships than the chat ranking. The game.
It appears to be the correct size.
Yeah, just Jeremy's clarifying. Viewers can gift memberships. As the host, we used to be able to. We had 10 free ones that YouTube gave that we could gift. Is it M6?
Yeah, the third pitch is right. They look like M6 to me.
Okay. Yep, there we are. 6. I'm gonna get this started, but then I'm gonna go Where am I going to do this? Trash can is way over here. I'll bring my trash can
Speaking
over.
of tools,
Huh?
I was saying, speaking of tools, like, you guys haven't seen one of these before. This is a thread gauge, and you can measure both metric and imperial threads to find out exactly what's on a screw rather than having 47 nuts in a drawer that you can compare it against. And it's a mid-Toyo, so it's almost right.
What's that? Oh, the gauge.
So you want to, I
Hmm?
was going to say, if you moved over a little bit, well, you'd be moving
Yeah,
over
it's
the
just,
trash can.
I'm trying to capture the shavings.
So what he's using is basically a block that has a bunch of different size holes in it that make sure that you tap those things straight,
Yeah.
which is pretty handy dandy if you don't have any other way of doing that.
The only problem with it is the taps I have are larger diameter than the cutting area. So
Oh, you don't
I
get,
I
you
don't get
much.
I don't get to go all the way through. I have to go down until it bottoms out. And then I may have to go
Touch 'em
do
up a
it.
little bit.
Yeah, touch them up.
But they will be started enough. It'd probably be okay.
There will be plenty of shavings. Yes.
Yeah, I had, when Steve was finished at my house, I had about maybe a third of a 30-gallon, is that a 30-gallon or 25-gallon trash can full of chips?
Yeah.
So,
Yep, that's going to be one of my big challenges is figuring out how to manage the debris. In a pinch, you can use a nut to guide the tap as well.
yeah. Well,
But then it wouldn't be a new tool to put in the drawer. And we thread this in. Make sure I went all
Oh,
the way
Sean,
through.
we can't do that.
Is that?
Open garage door, sweep chips outside, close garage door.
I would rather not attract the attention of April.
the first time it rained, you would have a very interested stripy driveway.
Mm-hmm.
I know because the rain blew under my garage door last year after I first started using my lathe, and all those chips rusted on my epoxy floor, and that was a bear to get clean.
Which leads into One Solid Cube asking if the floor is polished concrete or epoxy.
Yeah,
It is epoxy. It is epoxy. It
Still, the
is.
shavings is tactical glitter.
Yeah.
This was done the summer after we moved in, right away. We bought the house in April of 2007, and I had the built-in cabinets put in here and the floors epoxy coated within a couple of months of us moving in.
I have to say, you did a better job of color choice than I did. Mine is blue, white, gray, brown, with a background of a light tan. And it doesn't matter what color screw, piece of wire you drop on the floor, it just disappears. It camouflages everything.
Save the chips and use them to make epoxy gifts.
I've had some things off the lathe that were pretty interesting.
Yeah.
The little corkscrews.
Oh, yeah.
That just, you do some interesting stuff with that. But first thing you learn about those things is you don't handle them without gloves on, like circular razors.
That is done.
Okay.
So was space made for this by putting things into the new shed or shuffling in the garage?
I shuffled in the garage. So I found out, or I realized, that I don't use the side door that goes out to the yard in this garage. I use it in the other one, but not in this garage. So I moved my snap-on tool chest over here, and that freed up all kinds of space. All this space where the mill is right now. Where the mill is right now is where that tool chest was. Okay, where are we next? We got 4 minutes till we're giving away some Polymaker filament.
Comment from Raj.
Update on YouTube, 18th of April. Creators need to fill out a designated form provided by Google. This form requires details such as channels. Completing this step is essential to unlock the gift membership feature for their channel. Now the question is, Raj, are you sure that applies to what we're talking about?
Because you already had the ability to give them out and
Yeah.
they went away.
Yeah. And viewers can gift memberships. The problem is that hosts used to be able to do 10 free. That my snap-on tool chest is from the 80s, and it is one that my dad used when he was a mechanic for his whole life. It was from the very early 80s. I think it's like 81 or 82.
Bit.
Yeah.
There we go.
Very tight there, huh?
That is. Looks like it ought to be going through. Oh, it is.
Gotcha. That was a beta test, and now they changed it. Well, I appreciate that info, Raj. I will research that based on what you've said there. Figure it out, hopefully before the month is over. Okay, so we got that.
Just
And did these go on? We want to,
put those on there.
huh?
Oop, took that.
Hey, look, they thread in.
And here's the, or one of these is the right tool. This one's the right tool.
This is the right tool. Not ball end. Whole lot easier.
But you're not going to tighten them very tight.
Right, but it makes it go in straight.
Okay. Let's see here. Nut. An 8 and a 4. An 8 is a lock nut. And a 6 is a punch washer.
Almost looks like an operating room. All that is going on, and then we do we have more? Probably nylon.
We do.
So this is going to go like this. Still.
4 is a
Oh, I need
nylon.
the, what is this? Do we know what that is?
No,
Big. That's what that is. Yes. Hey, I guessed right.
this is for the 2 screws that go in the side of the machine.
5/16.
This is the guy that goes in this machine.
What?
Steven's filling out of place. He says somebody needs to spill or drop something on the floor real quick here.
What do you want to do?
I'm saying the screws, these screws,
Whoa.
use this tool.
Okay.
I'm saying.
And we hit giveaway time.
Ding, 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 ding.
It is. Send you a link to the source. Thank you, Raj. I appreciate that. You would really think that if there's a major change like that, would have been notified, but maybe I was.
We find a lot of email notifications get flagged as spam.
Yeah. I check my spam box regularly though. I keep it clear. Okay. While
Let's
you
do-
finish that up,
Okay.
let's give away some filament.
Woohoo.
Okay. Wheel of names. So every public stream, we give away a roll of Polymaker filament. So these special streams on a Saturday are no exception. The link is in the pin post and the description. You have 3 seconds to get your entry in. See, how many people do we have? We have 225 people. We
Wow.
did hit 50% like ratio, but barely. So if you haven't hit like, hit that. We do have a 1, 2, 3 likes right now. So it is a nice number, but it's okay to break that. Let's see. We have 170 people entered. This is actually a pretty good ratio of viewers to entries compared to what we've been getting on Sundays.
Stephen points out a good point there. Your notification of this change to YouTube is probably sitting next to all of the live notifications from YouTube.
That's true. That is, yes, this is the same 3 seconds as every 3 seconds. There's nothing different about Saturday versus Sunday. Okay, but I do actually have to start counting down. So 3, 2, on my screen it's 49. That's another quirk of YouTube lately, is it doesn't live update. You have to refresh the page in order to get the updated likes, and I think viewers actually refreshes pretty good, but likes do not for the client. We did just get one, so I get to start over. 3, 2, 3, 2, 1. In War Games DEFCON 3, 3, 2, 3, 1, 3. Half. Viewers refresh in real time, but not likes. Quarter.
Stooge gets the Animaniacs reference.
Cloud 42 machine, you need to click 42 times. We haven't gotten one in that whole time, so we're going to close this out in 3, 2, 1. Done. Okay. And create. Damascus Everglades got in that last entry. Okay, so we will do a number between 1 and 42. 1 and 42. Daniel Saborin, you said 25. Let's do 25. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and spin. As with every one of these rolls, you must be here. You must say something in chat within 2 minutes if your name is called. Master Moon. Master Moon, congratulations. But are you here? Say something in chat if you are. Master Moon, 2 minutes. You did sneak in there, Damascus. Master Moon, are you here? Go to my drafts. Master Moon. Here? Minute and 30 seconds left. Going on okay?
No.
No?
I need to clean the threads out on that.
Oh no. I put all that stuff away. Did we get a Master Moon in chat?
Not yet.
Are they the same M6?
I think so.
Yeah, they are. No Master Moon? You have 50 seconds, Master Moon. How do you change your name in chat? I have no idea. You're trying to change it to Master Moon. It doesn't work. not taggable. We've found that not taggable doesn't mean much.
Usually it just means that they haven't been active in chat for a little while.
Yeah.
You know, like they ran off to get a burrito.
Might have been. Might have been. I like your shirt. I have that shirt.
The Sparta 3D shirt.
I know. Eat, sleep, print, repeat.
Yeah, I've got the stickers in my wall.
Master Moon is the latest member of the Polar TED Club. The one and only Polar TED Club. It's here. Congratulations, Master Moon. You are in an exclusive club. Let's do a number between 1 and 10 to a re-roll. Well, oops, I have to actually, I can't click on the OBS window to close the name. I do that all the time. I have the mouse over on the OBS window and I'm trying to click on the thing because I'm actually usually watching the OBS window when I'm clicking over here too.
Yes, Jim. That's where they were given out. These shirts were given out at IRF last year.
Jeff Kess said 7. We'll do 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and spin. Oh, Master Moon.
No.
Okay. Hold on. We got this covered. We got this covered. Red Apple Makes. Are you here? Master Moon, we will take care of you. Let me note it. It's not going to be instant though. Red Apple Makes. Are you here? Red Apple Makes. We covered this before. This happened before. And I believe I said it. If we haven't actually drawn the next one and you came in, then we'd figure out a way to make it happen. So, Red Apple Makes. Are you here? It means you're not a member of the Polar TED Club. So I guess I'm going to give you the choice. Do you want to be a member of the Polar TED Club or? Red Apple Makes. I should actually start this timer.
Little
Red Apple
details.
Makes. Are you here? If Red Apple Makes is not here, then we'll just do the 1 to Master Moon. We won't be rolling again.
Oh,
that's Red Apple Makes. Are you here? You have about a minute and a half. I do need to figure out how to get that list of names. I have some of them, but not all of them for the Polar TED Club. And I don't know if I want to go back and watch every time I've drawn something.
it seems like that would be something that you would delegate with an incentive.
Yeah. If you want your name up there, tell me which stream awarded you that, and then I can verify and put it there or something like that. Sounds like a project for your son. Red Apple will become a Polar TED Club if Master Moon is unwilling or unable to fulfill his duties. Well, if Red Apple Makes isn't here, then that's Polar TED Club inductee, and Master Moon will get the email for the coupon code that I drew. So before stream, I enter how many I'm going to give away, and I get a code for that. That's how I'm able to send the emails right away. We established last time something like this was close, that as long as we hadn't finished the next roll, then I would be able to do something, and we'll figure out something. We'll get it taken care of. And that is all predicated on people not trying to take advantage of that in the future. Now, I am saved. Red Apple Makes is not saved. Red Apple Makes is a Polar TED Club member, and Master Moon is about to get an email. So.
And One Solid Cube needs a description of what is the Polar TED Club.
Polar TED Club is a result of a viewer who at the time was going by another name I don't remember, Polar Ted Club, who was not here when their name was drawn for a full Trident kit. And they were out getting a burrito. And we ended up re-rolling that and giving it away to someone else. And then they came back. And Jason was in chat. Jason from LDO. And Jason is one of the most fantastic people in the community. And said, we're going to send you, Polar Ted, a V0 kit. So there was a very nice little interaction there. It was a lot of fun.
Jason's the best.
Mm-hmm. Oops. Not what I want. Okay, let me get all of this going and there. Then this will be addressed to your YouTube name, even though it doesn't appear to match, but that's okay. I mean, just in terms of username. Usually email and YouTube name are pretty close. This is not. Everything good? Nope, I gotta change the date here. It is the 7th. Okay, Masterman, you lucked out. Congratulations. You should have an email any minute. We have a second roll today. We did. It just worked out to where I don't have to fix anything on the other side.
One solid cube, and don't knock it. I've been around 3D printing now since 2017, and I have yet to interact with anybody who has any criticisms of Jason or LDO. They are stand-up folks.
Ditto.
Awesome.
I've been in it since 2015.
Yeah. And from someone who is showcasing their products in a builds and stuff like that, that I say with 100% that when you are given something or provided something for the thing, Jason welcomes any criticism or anything.
Feedback.
Yeah, any feedback of any kind. And there is, when you give that feedback, there is a assurance.
Acknowledgement.
And yeah, acknowledgement. And there is never any kind of argument or whatever you'd want to say. Pushback on that. And that's the way it should be. That's really, really the way it should be. Thank you for the reminder on the cleaning up things. So let me clean things up. Pen. Take the opportunity while we're finishing up things. We should still, I expect, one way or another, we're going to probably end this at 2, which is in 45 minutes. There are links in the description to an event that Z Runcho is putting on in the Doom Discord. There's a Doom Discord invite link and a video that Canuck Creator did on an announcement that they're making, a little project that they're releasing today. So it's not something I can raid into, but because it's a Discord stage thing, but do we need to change back? Let me point this.
We can probably zoom.
There we are.
Oh, that's good.
DRO. DRO's going on the machine.
That's good.
So I was Creality, read my community post. Got to work out to do a video of my dealings with. Oh yeah. It's on.
It is.
Looks good.
Yep.
Awesome. Now we got to hook it up.
Give it a power cord here.
Power cord. And where do we actually hook up this ground strap? Is there a spot?
I don't know. The spot I used was a cardboard box over beside me. There's the screw, but I don't know where you. I guess they were, because it goes through nylon. I guess they were.
Everything is. Oh yeah, it is through.
Is the jumper the ground across that?
Here it would get a connection. No, it wouldn't. Nope.
No,
Okay.
I have no idea.
Let's see what kind of. I'm not gonna worry about it.
Well, they're mentioning they've got a separate set of instructions for the DRO, and it says in there that if your 110 volt outlet is not properly grounded, use that cord.
Well then, thank you for reading that.
Is that on page 12?
Page 1 of the DRO manual.
I'm looking at the DRO manual.
Page 1.
No,
First
it's not
use.
Page 1.
Oh, first use.
I clicked the link from the web page.
Let's see.
Okay. So there's going to be a lot of cable management I'm going to want to do at some point with this, but in the meantime.
Oh, you're looking at the usage manual. This is the.
We have a lot of distance of cables here.
The website didn't specify. It just said MX100M DRO manual, so I clicked it.
Yeah, so
This is Z.
looks like this on the cover.
I don't get a cover.
Okay,
PDFs don't have covers, apparently.
apparently not. The
But yeah, first use, connect the 3 scales on the mill as shown above, connect the 110 volt AC power to the DRO through a surge protector. If the 110 AC outlet is not reliably grounded, connect a ground wire between the mill and DRO.
Perfect.
thank you for that, because I don't remember ever seeing that. And it's not in that manual. It came in the box.
I think I'm going to grab a Velcro strap. Do
Yeah, you get enough cables to hook this thing up across the room.
What's that?
You get enough cable to hook this thing up across the room.
I know. But I'm at least going to tie this up to this arm.
Yep.
Once we get the rest of them.
There's a couple of clamps for those things too.
Comes with it.
Yeah, they're,
Okay.
they're over there in the baggies.
Yeah. Let's just do that. What do we have here? This is
This be the, looks like the X.
X. So these are just 9-pin serial style.
Yep.
Connect DB9.
Yep.
What's DB stand for?
Oh, I used to know. Came out of the telecom industry.
Yeah.
Forgotten. That's what happens when you sleep at night. It runs out your ears. Let's see. So there's a clips
All
and
the
mounting
stuff.
systems.
D sub miniature.
D sub, that's right. That's right. So DB25 was a full duplex Sirius telecom connector for many, many years. And then the 9 showed up and got used for mediocre serial connections to the original IBM PC. And because they were on the back of every PC for a few years, everybody assumes that they're a PC serial connector.
We still use them on phone systems as well.
Yeah.
Now that phone systems are going the way of the Dodo.
Are you talking about like PBX?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because most of them now have a Ethernet cable or two, or a fiber cable in the back of them, or run them off a cloud.
A lot of them are going to cloud. We've been doing some research into that recently.
Yeah. I had a
Even
PBX.
the big phone system manufacturers are going to cloud.
Yeah. Well, it's way easier to manage it. I had a PBX system in my house when I lived in the other side of Sacramento, California. It was a big house. Got tired of
It
trying
is.
to yell to the other end of the house.
Yep. It is very difficult to specify a system that is not cloud-based these days.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense. It's just bits. You stir them differently. I dropped the soldering ring.
There you go. Does that make you feel better? Who was that?
There's me. Bill.
No, the guy in chat earlier that said there wasn't enough of that going on.
That was Steven, probably.
Gotta make saw sounds and hammering sounds.
Okay, so that is there.
Here's Mr. Allen.
Power. We just need 2 power cords. Oh, we need to fill the oil thing with whey oil.
Pathetic
Doesn't
Puma
have it,
says,
right?
hello, fellow subtractive manufacturing people.
Oh, it has it.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's full.
Who's that?
Pathetic Puma.
Hey. Just build a bunch.
That's okay. It'll go all over everywhere when it's all said and done.
Well, this is true.
One of those.
Okay.
All right.
The
Get out of the way. You can see what's going on.
the manual specifically says do not use an extension cord.
Yeah.
I'm
And
gonna
yet
use an
the DRO
extension
manual
cord.
says plug it into a surge suppressor.
Huh? I am going to put it into a properly sized extension cord.
Yep. The challenge with extension cords is the average American goes down and buys one from the local big box store. It is usually insufficient for the load that they put on them and end up doing bad things.
Yep.
Okay, so this,
Once or twice is probably good. You're gonna get.
I am
you're
a
gonna have
really
lot of
big
oil.
fan
Yep.
for things like this that have complicated electronics using a battery backup. Not so much for the when the power goes out, keeping it running, but the brownout conditions and surges that it
Yeah.
absorbs.
Isolation. Yep.
yep. Okay. So, where are we at? What's the XP thing I'm seeing? Oh, that's a new YouTube thing. Gamifying chat. Data bus.
Boo.
This can be used either serial or parallel data transfer. Okay, are we ready to turn it on?
Yeah.
Do we
want to open the page to the setup
we need to
process? I mean, the startup process?
Probably.
Mhm.
Follow a manual?
Follow Mr. Manual.
When you make
Manuel?
your own Phoenix billet badge.
There's a whole startup thing.
Yeah. Do we put the drawbar back in? I'm guessing. Oh, we got the vise still to put on there. You don't want anything smaller than 14 gauge for the extension cord. I wonder what this thing is. This is a pretty hefty extension cord.
I make my own extension cords.
I'm gonna
We don't buy
spring steel.
SOW with the appropriate size.
go.
Specifications,
I'm curious if it says on it.
controls, installing and removing tooling, playing with the down feed. Where's the startup?
It's pretty hefty, but I don't see it written on it anywhere close. Huh?
There's a section called startup.
There is.
Maintenance.
Should be further back, probably.
Got my finger in there.
Initial checks.
Guess. No check. Open. A-stop power.
Oh yeah, we need to move. So let's see. I guess we're about as good as we can. We need to move it to the slowest motor position. So there's 2 belt positions. We've got high speed and low speed. We need to move it to the low speed for break-in.
Where's your big fat hex wrench?
The question is it imperial or metric?
Probably
That machine is definitely a frame I can't engrave. This is true. It does have all kinds of little plaques on it, though.
Yeah.
What's this, quarter?
Yep.
Nope, it's metric.
It is metric.
The combination of metric and imperial. Can you lift that up? I want proof the bottom panel is on.
The bottom panel is that big blue tray underneath.
Yes.
It's visible from the outside.
And
we go.
loosen this one too.
Okay, so now we move this forward, this down and around, and then make sure we are seated. It doesn't need more than just like hand pressure, right?
Yeah, it doesn't need much. Not the. You don't want to stretch that belt. You just want to make it have contact.
Yep. So we move the belt to the low speed position.
Okay. Okay.
Let's put the drawbar back in.
Check that no chuck or collet is installed. Drawbars removed. No clamps or locks on moving parts.
So we break it in with the drawbar removed.
Yes.
Okay.
Open another cover. Make sure it's set for low speed. Just did that. Connect power. Be sure the e-stop has not been pushed in.
Okay. The e-stop is open.
Press the green power button.
Turn the speed knob is down. Hey, it turned
We have a
on.
green light.
Going to get.
Select
Does
the
the DRO
forward.
have to be turned on separate?
Yes. There's a switch on the back.
There it is. I want to see that come on. Hey, hey.
And it comes up and it says, I'm of this.
Yep.
Okay.
Cool. Okay. So now this all the way down and put it into forward position.
Put it in forward position.
And then we turn the speed up to what? How many RPM?
300
300.
for about 1 minute. So let it run for
So
1
300
minute.
for a minute.
And then move it up a couple of hundred every minute.
Uh-huh. Now you want to heat the bed first?
Yeah, this is heating the bed.
1 minute.
Bed's still cold.
Bed's still cold. Woohoo! It is turning. That does not take up all that much space. In short build.
Can you even hear it, Bob?
Nope. I was thinking more of when it's actually cutting in the material, that might get a bit.
Yeah,
Yes.
material
Chattery.
noise is it makes
Yeah.
noise, but
Especially if you get chatter.
if you get chatter, you're not doing it right.
Oh, I missed Bill's dance. You danced?
I did.
And there's the new pause screen.
My face wasn't in it.
You are in the small
We're all
camera.
chatters.
Uh,
Okay, and then up. And then a couple hundred or
could I go up a couple hundred?
yeah, it's not clear on the actual increment. It says break it in at 300 and then gradually increase to the maximum 12 or 1400 RPM on this belt.
Yeah, but most people have taken that to mean 300, 600, 900,
Yeah.
whatever. So it's a mill.
Oh, can you guys hear it? That's, if I get over here close to it, there might be something, especially when I'm talking, you might be able to hear.
Just a little bit when you're talking.
Yeah.
If you wiggle the handle, it should make the DRO jump around. If you wiggle the handle, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
DRO jumps around.
Okay, we'll go up another.
Oh, we heard that ramp.
Another minute. Turn off noise canceling. It's really not very impressive, but I can.
Well, the stream noise canceling isn't going to let him hear much more because I can barely hear it when you're talking,
Yeah.
and I don't get the stream noise canceling.
I just turned off the noise canceling, so any little bit you should be able to hear. All the axes are showing up on the DRO.
Yeah, for everybody who's in chat, Bob's actually a figment of our imagination. He's not in chat.
Normal.
Okay, now we go up again. Actually, a little smoother at that faster speed. To prevent shatter, you have to mind your speeds and feeds, and those are dependent on material and depth of cut. Yep.
Absolutely true.
Yep. It is not leveled yet. We have not trammed any of it.
Yeah, so for those who may or may not be familiar, leveling involves making sure that the machine itself is level. And believe it or not, even though it's got 400 pounds of cast iron, it can twist, and you won't get accurate cuts, or you'll cut tapers. So leveling the machine is important. And then tramming is making sure that obviously the bed in all directions is 90 degrees to the spindle.
A little bit more. What decibel is it? I don't think this is the point. This isn't a point where my watch will be telling me I should watch out for hearing damage.
I would probably say you're at 68 dB maybe. We can hold a casual conversation with that in the background and not fight over it. I mean, it's really that quiet.
Tuxedo says they had a mill a few decades ago that was not like this, not even close.
Then we'll go to max speed, I guess, for the last little bit.
Okay.
Which is about 1750 is what it's showing.
I mean, it's pretty low, even on your dB meter and OBS.
You see the method that Blondie uses to trim the head to the bed. I'd have to refresh my memory on that, Wolf Pup. I know the method for tramming like the vise to it, but we're not at a point where we're tramming the vise yet. We need to tram the...
Well, we need to level the machine with gravity.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then we tram the bed. All right, and then you can start talking about getting your vise squared up on top of the bed.
Stephen, that's the next step.
Yeah, it is actually. She has a whole playlist on getting started milling. Yep, I've watched it. It's just... So we will do the e-stop right now.
And it beeps, yay!
Yep.
Just in case you didn't know, you press the e-stop.
Okay, turn that all the way down. It does have the same forward reverse as yours does.
Mm-hmm. I think they got enough feedback that
I know.
They flopped it.
The forward and reverse knob there, on earlier versions, you would turn it counterclockwise to go forward and clockwise to go reverse. And so I think that's in Blondie's unboxing, and Adam Savage checked out one of these as well, and he made a comment on there about it being backwards to what he thinks it should be. And we noticed on Bill's that his is that way. And
Mine is
any of the newer videos you see, it's
correct.
flipped back. Yeah. This is a manual machine, Pathetic Puma. Yep. If it failed that test, that would have been embarrassing. Okay, so
What do you want to do?
level the machine. Is that the
That
next
or the
thing?
power feed, table feed? The mechanical construction or the leveling next?
I don't know if I'm going to end up putting that. That's another hour or more job to put that on.
Okay.
To get it lined up.
It's your toy.
I
However
kind
you
of want to
to.
put a 2 o'clock end on this stream.
Okay.
So I think we can.
It's going to be hard to see the leveling. That was my only
I
thought.
know. All of it is going to be hard. Well, I guess here's the choice. I guess either we work on some leveling and tramming, or we at least get that power feed on there. What do you think, Bob?
I think unbox that power feed at least, because you're right. What you're doing is not going to be very streamable.
It's going to be hard to cover. And it's...
Yeah, but just so people can see.
Oh, absolutely. Show off the tool.
Yeah.
And get it to focus.
There you go.
This is a precision. I can't turn it the right direction without the bubble disappearing. But anyway, this thing is a precision level, and basically they make one more higher in sort of the every man's category, and then you get into the stratosphere for cost. But this thing will show almost anything you could buy from a local box store is completely out of whack.
Yeah.
So it's a tenth of a thousandth per. It's either 18 or 24 inches.
Okay, here's our power table feed. This was a 100% required purchase after using Bill's. And a Power Z is high on the list.
Shortly behind it.
What model number is that start level?
Oh, that's a. It's a 98. So this is a 4-inch, and the 4-inch one comes either with or without a cross level. So this actually has two bubbles. It has one bubble that gives you essentially a cross read, and then the one main bubble that's the high quality one. I bought mine used at a machinist swap meet, so.
This is actually two pieces here. And I think the eventual idea is to ditch this piece and just have this bolt to the side of the table there. So if we look at this thing is gonna go and basically on the casting here, clamp on right here with these bolts. Now, not clamping it on will mean drilling holes in the side of the machine, but that's okay. Maker of the level is star it, however I say that. It's a nicely machined little drive gear. This will go on in place of the wheel handle.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it looks like the wheel handle's on the other end, or there is a wheel handle on the end.
Yeah.
So is there some kind of a freewheel mechanism in it so that you can still use the manual handle on the other end?
You're turning it against the motor. There isn't a clutch, right? I don't think there's a clutch.
You can put it in neutral and hand crank it. I think if it's like the ones that I've had my hands on.
Oh, so it is. You're not turning the motor. Okay,
Right.
That makes sense.
But the other thing is you can put the motor on either end. It becomes a mounting issue if you swap ends from the way it's designed. But There's nothing that says it has to go on one end or the other.
These are stops. There is an end stop that you put on here.
So you don't break things when it hits the end of travel.
What? No sensorless homing?
No, only senseless homing.
Oh, this is something I've heard is a little janky. It's just double-sided tape holding this is the gear guard.
You should print one with a Steve Bill's logo on the side.
That I'd never see. Okay, the rest of this is at least somewhat heavy. Oh, there's the end stop. So this mounts in the center, and then these mount to either side to bump against.
That's handy.
There we go. There's our controls. So this, how does that sets like that? Is that right? Yeah. So this is designed to go in various different configurations.
Well, so those were originally designed for a Bridgeport. So they're hung in a vertical orientation, but they've just been adapted for
Yeah,
Bridgeport.
now it hangs this way. And power. Okay, so that does that, and then this bolts on right there, and then this goes on the wheel there like that. Hey Liz, back from Montreal Maker meetup. Nice group in spite of the forest fire air quality. Ew. We're no stranger to that here the last several years. How close to that? The fire got really close to your place not too long ago, right?
Well, there was a fire 7 years ago that burned within 100 feet of the house we're in right now.
Wow.
And it was pretty scary.
Let's see, where are we at here? Cool.
And it was a hot fire. It melted all of the steel mailboxes into a puddle on the ground. So at least 1,100 or 1,200 degrees.
So that and that. And that's for the limit switch. So do we bolt this on there first and then bolt that? Or
Since
put
you've got the extra set of hands, it might be easier to bolt the motor on the bracket before you put it on the machine. Just thinking about trying to drive those little screws up into it.
Yeah. I don't know.
It doesn't have step-by-step instructions. So whoever was asking about instruction quality, it's not there. So let's put this thing on. Is there a, oh, there's a keyway. Nope. Is there a keyway?
My understanding is you take this bracket off to mount that.
That makes sense.
Is my understanding.
So
But
there actually are installation instructions
somewhere.
Are there?
on the website.
And I probably already have them open. Let's see. Table power feed. There we are. Let's look. Power feed supplied, comes with all the mounting hardware needed. Oh yeah, because this is a product that's made for another mill. Their instructions are to adapt it to this. I love the warning about not putting an anvil on the power cord. Okay, so what do? Should mesh comes with all the mounting hardware. Start the installation by removing the hand wheel and graduated collar. Install the adapter casting.
So they keep that other casting.
Yeah, that stays on. Okay. These come off though. Okay, what do we want to do? I guess we can go here. If you want to pull, what tools do you need to pull the wheel off of the end?
So you're hanging on the right side, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
So just pulled this plate apart to match what they're doing here.
It is a...
Is there anything to come off of there? Oh, it's just the...
I think
Nothing
that
actually comes off here. No, that stays on over there, Bill.
Oh, you're gonna...
We're putting it
over
here.
there. Okay.
I meant left side. You said right side.
That's
You
fine.
said, and I... Yep. Now, the question I have is I feel like even with these completely tight, it doesn't hold on there. That's completely tight, and it doesn't bite into that. I don't think that works. Let me actually tighten that down and see what happens.
Well,
Well, I can see the heads down on the... That's as far as the threads go in those bolts.
So this piece, oh, here. This piece right here is what we're trying to put on. These two bolts here are supposed to tighten that down. With this fully threaded in, at least as much as I can do by hand, there's still play there. It doesn't actually clamp on.
avoid over tightening the screws. This can split the casting.
Yeah, so what they're talking
There
about
we go.
is...
It is. It's the last.
No, so here's what's happening. See, if you loosen that, this is what puts pressure against the bolts that are in here. Okay, so if I loosen this, look.
No, because these have to bolt on to that. These go there.
Okay.
Yeah, and this has to bolt this down. So is there a gap in this that those are supposed to bolt into?
No.
Wow. Okay. I don't think we can install that. I've watched several videos of people installing this, and I didn't see anybody have this particular problem. So I don't know what's going on.
Well, we'll get to test their support coils.
Yeah. Yeah. Here, let me. Here, you can maybe show a little. I zoomed in a bit there, Bill.
Okay. So
Give it a wiggle. Oh, that's just...
Yeah, those bolts are.
and they're actually ground like dog screws.
Yeah, if I tighten this down even, this just sets on there. And those are supposed to tighten against the casting on this side. And they do not. And then more so, when this is on, does this, so.
But press her against the front plate.
Let me see. I'll step it this way, Bill.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you're fine. This goes on and slides in here.
Does it go through that?
When this tightens down,
Okay.
so that goes on to whatever level that does. You can adjust the height of that, and this is how you adjust the mesh of the gears. But that doesn't tighten through here. It doesn't tighten beyond that, so that's not going to help this hold on there. It just won't tighten down as it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's nothing here that's getting in the way. This is the bare end of the thing. What could potentially be a solution is put a spacer behind here on this side. Is there anything in here that is a spacer?
Spacers!
Spacers, no. I see nothing in the hardware that would be that.
Yeah.
So, okay, I get to test their support. See you, Scott. Seems like the bolts are a bit short. Yeah, that could be it too.
I don't see anything in the rest of the instructions that give us any better information.
The bottom line is I don't like this clamping solution anyway. So I may just not even install this until I either find someone has come up with a good solution or come up with my own.
Or
this relies on driving into the powder coat on the side of the X bed.
Mm-hmm. Maybe it's an excuse to do away with that clamping plate altogether and
That's
drill
what
and
I'm
tap
saying.
the holes for mounting it.
Yep. That's 100% what I'm saying. Is mark and drill, and then there's no reason to have this piece here. Okay, that will be an early project on the mill. Let's see here. There we are.
Good job.
I'm feeling pretty good.
Good job.
We didn't get into tramming this. We didn't get into full setup, but we have spent 4 hours here on a Saturday unboxing and setting up a new toy. So I will be spending probably at least 4 hours tramming this and getting it dialed in. But I promise for our regular viewers here, we'll make some chips on this sometime in the near future on camera. So even if it's surfacing, running the surfacing bit across it on a piece of metal. Mm-hmm. I have this, bought this big guy just for.
Ooh. That's got some bite.
Yeah. We use this same one on all the parts we made for Cascade. So, yep. And that's just, I mean, for anybody who doesn't know, you buy one of these machines, you're going to spend at least over some amount of time, the same amount in tooling and fixturing.
Yeah, the nice part is that you can often
come around here.
Yeah. The nice part is you can do it somewhat stepwise. Whoop, we're kicking the cameras over.
Yep, causing all the problems.
Earthquake.
There we go.
But I mean, there's a few minor things that you need to get started.
Yep.
But for the most part, you can gather tooling over time. You can find really good bargains on eBay and used places, and I don't know. I've had a really good time with mine so far, and I haven't really done that much with it, other than our massive use of it on the other mill.
And what's exciting for me is seeing what other people do with it and what I know this is capable of. Mm-hmm. It's not a Bridgeport. It's not a full industrial quality machine. It's a hobby shop. It's a hobby shop machine. And that's what I need.
But it's stiff enough.
You can do steel.
You can do
just
steel.
fine.
You can do all of the heavier materials. Probably not Inconel.
Yeah.
Right. But if you look at it, you go, what am I going to need to use it for? Right. A little bit of steel. Probably a lot of aluminum.
A lot of aluminum.
Right. It's stiff enough that we got really beautiful cuts when we were making some really deep cuts too. Yep. So it's I mean, I've got a Milo as well, so I've got to figure out. And I also have a couple of little bitty ones that may get, I guess, brain realignment. I'm really considering about what I do with the extra pieces, but
catching up on chat, Tuxedo. Bill and I are going to go down to Barzy Bash. So we're going down. That's later this month. That's the weekend after Murph. So we'll be going down there and checking that out.
Cloud's going to be here this year.
Yeah.
So that'll be good.
So I'm excited to hopefully chat with him a little bit. Don't knock it. That's exactly why I still wanted a manual mill. Is there something to be said for having a manual machine, even for those who like the CNC? It is going to be useful as a complement to that. Next week I unbox and install a mini lathe. I've had a mini lathe for about 4 years. It's sitting over there. I'm hoping that some of the stuff I'm learning here and I can make some parts for that, because it is the 7x14 mini lathe that needs all the attention to be actually useful.
It's kind of an Ender 3 of lathes. You have to do a few things to it to get it to a stage where it works. But I've seen some really amazing things come off those little Sieg mills.
Yeah. Bob, can I still hear you? Are you saying?
Absolutely.
Okay. I got the low battery warning, so it's timely. I just didn't know if it was the I'm dead warning or not. It went bum, 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 bum. The bolts on the interior mount are too short. Okay, could be, Stooge. I still don't like the way it mounts. Tomorrow is Core 1 continuing build. And then next weekend, I will continue the Blue Bear on Saturday member stream, because that'll be the last Saturday that I'm around of the month. So I am going to try to live stream on Sunday at Murph. So even if it's just kind of a walk around and interact with Chad and show things off. So I figure Murph's pretty low key, calm event. It'll be a good opportunity to try a remote live stream there. So it'll be the usual time, 10 a.m. Pacific. Maybe? No, it won't be, because that would be 3 hours, huh? Because Goshen is 3
2
hours
hours.
off. Is it 2 hours or is it 3 hours?
It should be 2 hours. Well, we'll have to look it up.
Isn't it that weird spot in Indiana that kind of jogs over and is in Eastern time?
We'll have to look it
But
up.
Chicago's, yeah, it is 3. It is Eastern time in Goshen. So, yep. Murph is Eastern. So, anyway, I'll figure it out. Keep an eye out. It may not be my exact normal stream time. Maybe
Your
a
normal
little.
stream time starts at 10 here, so that'd be 1 there, so it's not terrible.
Thank you. My stream brain had it going the other way. So, yes, we will do it at the normal stream time then. Thank you, everyone. I hope this was fun. This is very exciting for me to finally have that out of the box. So,
It's been a blast.
yeah, thank you,
Been a
Bill.
blast.
Huge thanks for driving over here. Thank you, Bob. Huge thanks for
now I owe him
helping manage chat.
A cool drink.
Yes, a tasty, frosty beverage.
That's okay.
So, for everyone in chat, we'll say goodbye and thank you, Bob and Bill. Hope everyone has a good rest of your day, and we will see you tomorrow. Yep. So, take care, everyone. Enjoy the build. Bye.